guys all hearing me whining and complaining in the background about forgetting all the things I'm forgetting. At least we're keeping it PG this time. I'm sure I have as many hot mic moments as anybody. And if you're hearing it for the first time, then welcome to Tuber Chat. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We are going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. I'm just imagining what it must be like if any of you actually heard what I was saying there. So I often speak to inanimate objects like my computer or my phone, and I get so mad at myself when I forget to do things. And right at the last second, I realized I forgot something important. And that was right after I realized I forgot to do all the shares on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and everything. We're nice and busy, so thank you everybody for that. But Kristen literally, you wouldn't have heard this, but she reached in kind of the room and said, "Is there anything I could do?" No, I'm just doing what I always do, just forgetting everything. So hopefully everybody finds that as amusing as I do. And OG Sean White, thank you so much for the gifted memberships right out of the gate. Grant's Faithful GLP1 Journey actually dropped a super chat before we even started, so we got that channel on the screen. I'm going to talk about it right now. OG Sean White will come up next, and then we'll get on with our regularly scheduled program. And for the next 3 hours, we will put channels on the screen. I'll talk about them. Some will be new, some will be friends we've had for months or years. And while we do that, everybody has an opportunity to connect with each other in the chat. And over the course of the stream, I'll add names to the wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation. And I have a system in the background to sort of keep track of that, which I didn't do properly today. So I'll be relying on who knows what, but that's okay. And one of these days, I'll tell a story that will show everybody what on earth I'm even whining about now. But thank you everybody for being here. We have had an explosive few days, especially after our 6-year anniversary. And I'm going to talk about our first channel in just another moment here. But I was talking in the background with Just Jason Keto. He's one of our beloved and dedicated moderators here. He has a premiere tonight that we'll raid into right after Tuber Chat in a few hours. But I'm very lucky to have conversations with creators on places like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and things like this all the time. We were talking about, sometimes videos start to move, or the other day on Tuber Chat, thank you for everybody who was here on Tuesday, it was out of control. And it is often. We're always busy. I will be eternally grateful for that. But what we have seen over the years is that after a special event or a special occasion, sometimes things get an extra boost because you promote the special event so much more, right? So I have an email list. For those of you not on it yet, you could just go to tuberchat.com and sign up. I don't send emails very often, not even once a month, barely once every 6 months. But when we have a 100 episode or when we have an anniversary, sometimes I'll send one out, plus the shares, plus everybody's kind words and things like that. So forgive me for skipping over our first channel for a second here. We will get to it in a moment. And I know that the Feral Grandma came in and gifted 5 memberships, so thank you for that. She's done that a million times before, and we'll get that channel up right after OG Sean White that did the same thing. And we'll get moving through channels as quickly as we can today, but I just want to show you something on our homepage here for a second. If I can look up our latest live streams. The next 2 are already scheduled, but you're just going to see if we look at the view counts here. So we always do well. I think most people don't get as many replays on live streams as we all wish, but Tuber Chat's included in that. I certainly don't expect anybody to watch replays unless you really want to hear what I have to say about channels. But you notice it's common for us to get anywhere from 200 to 250 views on a live stream while it's rolling. So that's during the 3 hours that it's on, maybe a little bit shy of that, and then a few replays top it up a bit, right? We don't always hit 300 views, But you'll notice that our 6-year anniversary had 376, more than 100 more views than 2 streams before that. And then again, the other day had even more than the 6-year anniversary, only by a little margin, only by a few. But how is that possible? Why would somebody's 6-year anniversary not be busier than the very next stream, which is just, another number, 937, let's just say. So my long speech, I promise you, has a point. But if I look for Tuber Chat 101, I just want to show you what happened. If you can imagine, 5 years ago, we did our 100th episode, 5.5 years actually. Look at the view count on this, 6,500 views on a live stream. It wasn't while it was on, it's all replays. But that's because YouTube pushed it, because everybody was helping push that 100th episode so much. So it was in people's community posts, I'm sure, shared on other social networks. People were talking about it. It was very engaging, and I pushed it as hard as I could, right? And if you imagine, back then, we're barely talking 1,000 subscribers too. But I just wanted to share that because it's something that came up with a dear friend, Just Jason Keto, and I over the last day or two. And I wanted to kind of show everybody what's possible. It's not the reason why I say that we should celebrate every milestone on our channels. Anything, birthdays, anniversaries, 100th episodes, like anything you can think of, gives your community a chance to celebrate with you and for you. But there's an added benefit in the fact that you're doing all this extra work and it's out there in the online universe, let's just say. And YouTube's algorithm gets a hold of that, and you might find some boosted views on the videos or live streams that you put up before or after the special editions, let's just say. So just a thought. We're trying an experiment as well today. Not every idea that I have is gold. Sometimes I have bad ideas. Today might be one of them, but we'll see. So just so you know what on earth I'm talking about, I turned Super Chats off for the beginning of the stream, and I'll turn them back on after the first break. Things like Super Chats and gifted memberships, or memberships of any kind, are absolutely unnecessary on this channel. I mean that sincerely. We've been here many years. Everybody can see we get plenty of that activity. I will be eternally grateful for that. But I just want to see how the beginning of the live stream goes before we start with any of that stuff, should we be so lucky to have it. But again, I don't want to solicit it. It's quite the opposite, right? I'm seeing what we're going to do if we turn it off for a little while. And we'll put it on after. No changes, just that thing. And then Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey is up. I'm going to talk about it now finally. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. And also for anybody that's brand new, thank you for your patience today. It's a very different introduction to today's live stream that I'm going through. Often we can forget that there are brand new people watching or listening to what we're doing when we're doing things online. It's not that I forget that, it's just that I wanted to explain something to some of our friends who've been with us many times before, whether it's a handful of times, dozens of times, or literally even hundreds of times in some cases. Because, we just want to share our ideas, and myself included. We want to experiment, try new things, and constantly improve if we can. So I've got quite a few names on the wheel. I'll load that up in another moment here. We got some introductions to do, but Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey came in actually before we even started. They have dropped Super Chats many times before, and they did that again today, and we always put Super Chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. We will get around to spinning the wheel. I add members and moderators onto the wheel as soon as I see them in the chat, but over the next 2.5 hours or so, I will add names to the wheel from our chat list, and that starts with conversation. Whoever is most active in the chat. ends up getting picked to get onto the wheel first. We'll get to as many channels as we can. So, Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey is sharing a couple of different things, and I was thinking about something before I even started because I was going through their About section again. They have something that I just read for the first time. Often I skim these, but I don't always read them completely. And even today, I was just looking at it quickly before we were starting to see if there was anything I haven't been mentioning about the channel. So with this particular creator, Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey, I noticed a podcast a while ago that I listened to, not every episode, but often, called Diary of a CEO. It's one of the biggest ones in the world now. It's very popular and everything else. But they recently had somebody on there talking about peptides, and I have a lot to learn. I don't even know what I'm talking about, even saying the sentence that way. So lots of our friends who follow this kind of thing, whether it's in your life or on YouTube, will understand much more about it than I already know, which is barely anything at all. I'm relying on creators like this to teach me. But I noticed that on that podcast, they were talking about this kind of thing and thought some of our friends like Grant might be interested in that. That very same podcast had Canada's political opposition leader on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he has something in common with Grant here, where they were talking about their nonverbal autistic daughter, Pierre Polyev. Apparently, if I understand correctly, was talking about the same thing. And I wonder if that might be of interest. So I don't know why. It just happens I'm pointing Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey towards the same podcast twice. But interesting. There must be reasons. So when we look at this channel, they're sharing their weight loss journeys. They're sharing their journey through GLP-1. Those of you following that will know much more than I do. Like I said, I just want to clarify that because I'm still learning and I've barely scratched the surface so far. But Grant posts videos fairly frequently, as you can see, just about on schedule for once a week. There's shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 1,500 and 1,600 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. And they're doing a bit of video gameplay in between a lot of fitness. I've seen actually a couple of fitness videos from this creator and a few other things. So hopefully everybody will connect with Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. I've been lucky enough to catch them for a couple of live streams as well. Hopefully you will also. We have notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And thank you again, Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. Carnivore Muscles in the house. Sarah Presswood is here. Squirrels World is actually a longtime friend. They've been with us for years. Blonde Traveling Gypsy was early in the door. Thanks for continuing that membership, by the way. Van Lott is here. Oki's Eden is in the house. Hall is here. Jeremy D-Day has been with me for long over 6 years, before this was even a channel. High Plains Camper and Rushing Wind Mountain are both in the house. Jen Palazzo is always giving everybody those friendly reminders for the thumbs up. I appreciate those. And then our beloved and dedicated moderators, Scratch and Pete PA and Just Jason Keto, are here. I haven't seen Michael's Adventures yet, but he's here for just about every stream. I'm sure he'll be here soon if he hasn't been already. The Stock Explorer might be listening in. They were here before we started, and I don't mean to miss anybody. Ben Cyan Games is here. He's been a friend for years as well. And then, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Thank you, Jen Palazzo. We're not actually streaming tomorrow or on Sunday, and here I'm not sure about all the different areas in the world that might celebrate Mother's Day. I'm not sure if that's a North American thing or if it's something that's worldwide, but you guys can let me know in the chat if you're here from different continents. I'm in Canada. Many of our friends are in the States, but like everybody else, of course, we have friends from all over the world. New Times, New Beginnings is here. Van Lott, I think I said hello to Miss Tarot D. Good to see you in the house. They're always engaging conversation in the chat, and I really do appreciate that as well. The magic here in Superchat is made in conversation that everybody has with other channels. The smallest part of what we're doing has to do with me on the screen talking about channels. It's helpful. I know people like to hear the things I have to say about these channels. Everybody likes having their channel on the screen, but I promise you it's the conversations in the chat that drive the subscribers that we're all looking for through friendships that we make with other creators. Simply Debbie Sue is here. And K-Dog's Kennel, thank you for coming in. They just popped in quickly. I'm not sure if they're still here. I catch them for live streams occasionally. They do a lot of video gameplay on their channel. And then Nesha Antoinette might still be here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. And we're still going to be looking at the Feral Grandma in another moment. They dropped a handful of gifted memberships as well. And my dear goodness, Oki's World, yes. I send that maybe to my son. He likes when I send him interesting jokes and anecdotes and things like that. There's a Stock Explorer right there. So I'm going to get them on the wheel. I didn't put just Jason Keto on there. I thought I did. I'll get just Jason Keto on the wheel. We're going to talk about OG Sean White. This creator's outdoor dashing right now, as a matter of fact. And one of the things I talk about here frequently is the idea of double dipping. Basically doing two things at once, right? If you're lucky enough to have a job where you can get paid, let's say, an hourly rate or a salary, but still do a side hustle at the same time, that's serious leverage and you can really get far. The only reason I was ever a computer programmer over the last 10 or 15 years or whatever and got some apps on the app stores because I was doing some work in film that gave me the time while I was getting paid there to work on my own stuff. As ridiculous as it sounds, these things are possible when some of our friends are out there doing DoorDash, Uber Eats, other Uber, Lyft, Grab, and all these other ride sharing or gig work platforms, and then live streaming it. That's fantastic. We've got one friend destined to recover, and this creator is an Amazon dispatcher. Sometimes she even hops in the truck or whatever, but she can live stream all day, every shift. Then she goes home and continues to play video games and everything, and her channel's just exploded because of it. Glidewell's on tour. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. John Lucas is here as well. I'm going to add some more names to the wheel in another few moments here. The Feral Grandma's coming up, and OG Sean White, like I said, is outdoor dashing literally right now. Some of their streams, let me go to the live streams first. The streams can go anywhere from a couple hours to like almost 12 hours. Look at this, 11 hours, 40 minutes on one of these. And then I think this is the one, yeah, they did another one after. So they'll be out and they share all of their wins with us. They help other DoorDashers understand some of the tips and tricks. They have other DoorDashers and gig workers that come into their chats and share tips and tricks as well, which is great because this can help everybody get a little bit farther, a little bit faster. Most of us with our YouTube channels, if we're doing anything where we're sharing information, knowledge, or dare I say teaching, then the idea is you want to help people avoid some of the mistakes we've all made, right? And this is a big benefit. So OG Sean White, you're going to see a lot of that there. What I like about this creator the most from what I've seen is that they're incredibly grateful at all times. They're constantly thanking their contributors. They're constantly thanking their audience while they celebrate the wins and things like that, which is great to know. And then I see that they've got several videos on the channel. They post these fairly sporadically. But I think what I'm going to do is take... I'm going to leave the videos for now. I'm going to look at the shorts on the channel because the videos seem to be complimentary here. But he's got all 4 seasons here. A little bit of winter weather we see in some of the popular shorts at 4,200, 8,700, even 21,000 views, which is great to see. So hopefully everybody will connect with OG Sean White, obviously an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Thank you again for the handful of gifted memberships. I really do appreciate the extra generous support, absolutely unnecessary. And this creator's also monetized, so lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get over there. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. My Quiet Corner, Carol, good to see you here. Shauna CCC is also in the house. And then Delo Flo is here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. And... oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, Miss Tarot D makes a great point. When I talk about friendships with other creators and what we're doing, connecting with each other, I know that for most people, it seems, when they start YouTube and start to meet other creators, it's usually in their niche, right? Travel channels want to connect with travel channels, cooking and quilting want to connect with cooking and quilting and things like that. Not exclusively, but I'm just saying it's a common theme I hear often. After a little while, sometimes people start to meet other creators, and a place like this can really be helpful for that, obviously. But what happens is, when you meet people who are not other content creators doing content in the same niche or category or genre as you, what can happen is you'll bring them onto your channel, and even though you might be doing something that they were not already doing, you might make fans, you might turn them into fans of the content, the type of content, regardless of their friendship with you, regardless of their channel. I did not know until we started Tuber Chat that lottery ticket scratching was such a big genre. I would have never likely found all of the homesteading channels and farming and ranching and gardening and fishing and things like that. Can't tell you how many makeup tutorials I've watched over the years, how many knitting circles I've hung out with in the chat, all our quilting, crocheting, cross-stitching friends, and things like this, and the list goes on. You know, there's unlimited genres and categories out there, but what you'll find is that, let's say, for instance, a lottery ticket scratching channel, if somebody had not already seen that, but they just connected because they know that the creator of that channel is a supporter of others, they might start watching their content and say, you know what, I really like these lottery tickets. I like watching some of this stuff. And then it'll start coming up in their algorithm or recommendation engine from YouTube, and they might start following even more channels that are doing that kind of thing. Some friends, some otherwise, but you know what I mean. Anfield Road Layout in the Loft, good to see you here. JGP Jr. is also in the house. And hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. We will pick things up in another couple of moments here, and I'll start moving faster as the stream goes on. The Feral Grandma, just like OG Sean White earlier, gifted 5 memberships again, and they've both done that before many times. The Feral Grandma's done it many, many, many times, and I'm especially grateful for that. I know that the recipients will be happy to have those as well. This creator's got 246 subscribers right now. I've referred to them as the Grill Master because of one video that they've got going on, but they actually are doing a real mix of content. So they might be crafting, or I'd like to say crafting. You can correct me if I'm wrong about this one. They bring some outdoor footage. I didn't realize you had those windmill, I'm not sure what they're called. You got wind turbines there. I was driving by some the other day and I thought I should stop and make a short. I heard an Okies Eden style joke once in a newspaper. For those of you who've ever heard of coffee news, it's a little thing in some of the coffee shops, and it just had a picture of a wind turbine and it said renewable energy. I'm a big fan, and it's like my favorite joke of all time. So I thought I might one of these days drive by there again and take a short. But Feral Grandma's got some of that on here for us to see right now. And then they bring us into the kitchen. They take us outdoors, and they've got a well, I would like to say furry friend, not much further, but otherwise a furry friend to enjoy with them. Shorts on this channel, and these have now gotten into almost 1,000 views on one of them, but over 1,000 views on another one, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. I wish I would catch you for one of these. I'm not sure how I missed this one from a couple days ago. And then for anybody that does live streaming, or if you have a premiere coming up or any of that stuff, especially special events or things like we were talking about, milestones, anniversaries, monetization celebrations, anybody can reach out anytime. I'm on Instagram all the time, Facebook most of the time, Twitter some of the time as well. I will always try to be there, even if I have to just sneak in while I'm working. Michael's Adventures is in the house. Good to see you here. And the Cam Fam Texas is here with us as well. And then, Rushing Wind Mountain, I think, is on the wheel. Let me spin right now. I got to add some names. But this is what I wanted to experiment with right now. We'll get a couple of spins of the wheel in, and then I'll put everything back the way it usually is when we go on our first break. And look, Oki's Eden, the wheel is listening to me talk to you or enjoying your anecdotes in the chat there. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. I was lucky to catch Oki's Eden live stream again. The other day, was it 2 nights ago? Must have been, right? Yeah. 4 days ago. Was it 4 days ago? Before the last stream? I thought it was 2 days ago. I must be mistaken. The days are blending into each other. This is my excuse when I say I haven't properly been through my catch-up list again. I had to run it, not watch the videos, but I'm hoping that now that I have a weekend, when we stream on Friday, it means I've basically got the whole weekend, except for just family obligations or things like that. But plenty of YouTube videos and streams and things like that I'll catch. So the Cam Fam Texas is on the wheel. Daisy HD, good to see you here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I say it a million times, but we go to so much work to get people to come to our channels. What a shame if they felt unwelcome because we missed them in the chat. Oh my goodness, Oki's Eden. I just read the Wi-Fi comment. That is my favorite. Of everything I've heard you say or seen you say, that's my favorite of all, of course. Savage Vlogger 69. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for the like and the share. Thank you everybody for the shares, by the way. I forgot to do all the sharing. Why don't we do that actually in another moment? Let's talk about Oki's Eden, and then I'll show everybody how I share on Twitter and Reddit. It's very easy to do. Maybe even we'll look at the Facebook one. I'll see if I can do that in the background here a little bit. Oki's Eden up here is bringing us gardening, harvesting, homestead. This creator does a really thorough job. I've caught them both for cooking and for gardening. They give us a lot of tips and tricks and their personal spin on processes for how they do things like compost. One of the videos, I probably won't forget that. Like, I'll probably remember that forever after, because I was so engaged in the chat on that day when they were talking about this. Over here on this live stream the other day, they were talking about a handful of different things. But there they are in the garden again, and they share all their information, the tips, the tricks, the things that don't work out, I'm sure, as much as anything. Shorts over here as well. These feature a little bit more variety, but mostly outdoor content we see in the garden. Some of the indoor stuff, look at this, 2,400, 2,200, and then they got one at 3,500, which is great to know. And then they've got videos, so I don't know why I'm so behind, but they've actually been posting quite a few over the last week. They've already put out 5 or 6 videos, 5 videos. So I'm just going to grab the latest video. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. This is this playlist I was talking about earlier. It's just got a fun name. And playlist can be a great tool for keeping or getting caught up with creators. So that's how I use that. Over the course of today's stream, I'll continue to add videos into that playlist. And then the idea is to get to watch the videos as much as possible, but I run it if I have to. There's AceFlaw1 Andy. He has been with me as long as Jeremy D-Day, long over 6 years. And then Butler Family Farm. Pardon me, everybody's BFF will get them on the wheel. We always put members and moderators on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. And let's spin one more time right now. Let me pull over a window here and we'll try to do the Facebook thing. So we have a Facebook page, but all I do over here is post the streams so that they'll come up in people's Facebook feeds, right? So when you have a page, you can have access to this thing called Meta Business Suite. And this is kind of a back-end platform for cross-posting on Instagram, Facebook. You could do it to groups and pages and things like this. So what I'm going to do here is go on Create Post. And because I do this all the time, it already remembers what I usually do. So I publish to the Facebook page and to the group at the same time, the same thing. And again, this is so it will come up in people's feeds. What I'm going to do is get the URL. You'll have to just trust me. I'm getting the URL from another window in the background here for today's video. And if I just click a space or type a space right after this, you're going to see the post populates. Most of you have seen this before if you're in our Facebook group. Anybody can go there and post their YouTube videos there. That's what we have it for. There's well over 400 people. I don't think there's 500 yet. And that's it. And then it, is going to pop up, and pretty soon we'll see that we've got posts on both Facebook, our page, and our group. And then quickly, I'm just going to whip another window over here for a second. This one's on a different browser. This is how I keep up with the chat. And then Rambling with the Brooms is almost top dog. That's another beloved and dedicated moderator, Scott, from closer to our nation's capital. Just Jason Keto is coming up next, so let me get his channel ready. I'm just going to show everybody very quickly how we share on Reddit and Twitter, because I do it all the time. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. Now, hopefully you saw I just clicked the Reddit button when I went to go share this, and it pops up a Reddit window. I'm already logged in, and I'm in the Tuber Chat subreddit. What a subreddit is similar to like a Facebook group, right? You're still on Facebook. You're just in a group that's, specifically talking about one specific interest, right? Or multiple interests together. Reddit, same thing. And then we have a place here called Tuber Chat, of course, where anybody can go and post their videos here. And we often see tiny little slivers of traffic, right? Every view matters, so we do this. And then anybody can post their videos here. So I just make sure I'm in the Tuber Chat subreddit. You saw me select that. You saw me select what they call a flare, which just tells people what we're posting. A video, a live stream, a milestone, a channel, or whatever it is. I have a couple extras here so I can post Tuber Chat and everybody sees the big red pill to show that that's what that is. And then when we go over to the subreddit Tuber Chat, you'll see all the different things that have been posted here. There's Jesse Journals and Unboxes. There's Mr. Shelton TV. And then there's a million from me because I'm on here all the time doing this. And many other people. I think we got 700 people over there, which is great to know. And then I'm just going to do one more. We'll show you how we do it on X. Let me just make sure I'm logged into the right account. Looks like I am. When you do this, they want to give you the, posted by YouTube thing. I always delete it because I just don't think it's necessary. But then I'm going to take the truncated title here, which means that they've cut off some of the characters for a limit. And I'm just going to say channel promotion, which is what Tuber Chat is on top of everything else. And then I just click post. And there we go. And then forget the feed over there because, it's full of everything, of course. But this is all I do is just post these. And then anybody who happens to be active on Twitter that is following the Tuber Chat handle or account can get another source of notification, if we want to put it that way. And then I think I wiped out my window there, so I gotta get that back. So pardon me while I try to catch up with the chat here. We'll look at Just Jason Keto. He's got a premiere. You see this one here is coming up tonight, right after Tuber Chat, as a matter of fact. And we will raid in there. So he'll give us an extra few minutes. His premieres usually run anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, and then everybody continue connecting the same way we do here. All of our moderators allow that. And then, yeah, that D-Lo Flow show, I know a lot of Facebook and X accounts have been hacked, and it happens all the time. And then Just Jason Keto's working on a banner right this second. Crafty Witch 232, good to see you here. She's live almost every day at 9 p.m. Eastern or thereabout. And hopefully, again, I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know Nesha Antoinette is still here, and Fairbrick Studios come in. Good to see you both. Mom of 3 boys. If I didn't say hello already, it's great to have you here also. I know they're here frequently. And then Just Jason Keto is up right now. So this creator is a beloved and dedicated moderator here. All of our moderators are dear friends of mine for a long time now, and they're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels, and they all do different things. But one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity. And for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your own channel, the same way we do here in Tuber Chat. You have a couple opportunities tonight because Michael's Adventures will drop a premiere at 8 o'clock again. At some point, I know Jerry might not be in the chat right now. I'm going to reach out to Jerry from Butler Family Farm and ask him if he feels like doing a later stream or extending one, because they're on every Monday at 6:45 Eastern. And whenever I crash into them, which is again like this week, we don't have an opportunity to raid them because they're done 15 minutes before us. So if I can get them to stay on for an extra hour, do like a double stream or something like that, we might be able to raid in, but we'll see. It's an idea. I was thinking about that today. Just Jason Keto, though, has a premiere same time as Michael's Adventures tonight, 8 p.m., and we will go and raid into that again. Soon we'll raid into another one from Michael's Adventures, and I try to mix up the love. So if somebody sees a Tuber Chat live stream coming up, and you know that you want to drop a video around the same time that we're going to finish, then you can reach out to me, and I'll be happy to raid if we can. So I often set them in advance, just so you know. Just Jason Keto is bringing us a proper human diet, a lot of recipes, a lot of product reviews on the channel. He's known for chaffles. He's got another chaffle video tonight. He's done over 100 of these. He's got plenty other recipes, and what he does is helps us understand a keto-based diet or lifestyle, and then makes recipes for us and shows us how these things are done and made. Only featuring a few ingredients, literally simple, easy to make, not taking a lot of time either, which is great to know. And otherwise, he does interesting things for his dedicated audience, anybody who's always already following him, like he does members first content, for instance. And then product reviews help us further understand the ingredients that are going to go into some of the things we see marketed towards keto, like no sugar added and things like this. He brings other people onto the channel, both in videos and live streams as guests, to share their life experiences. We'll see plenty of that. And then he does typical unboxings and product reviews as well, things that might relate to our YouTube journey, like Osmo 7 gimbal here, or what looks like a special mouse. Is that right? Is that what that is? I must have run that video and not seen it. I'm going to put this one in my catch-up list for today because I just want to see what that was. And then over the holidays, he did a different kind of content. He's got another channel set up for extra stuff now, but he'll take us traveling when he can. And then he's got shorts on the channel, and these have given us a bit of a hint. Healthy looking grilling shorts have done really well for him, getting into 6,300, 7,300, 8,700, one at 23,000, which is great to see. And I've seen that one. I promise you it's entertaining. Vintage Style by Joe. I was so sad today because I got out of my first gig. I was in my first job today for like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. By the time I got out, it was like 11:30, and I'm like, oh, I knew I was going to miss it. It's very difficult for me to catch Vintage Style by Joe. I caught her last week. She's on at 9:45 Eastern every Friday, but I did think about it today. And hopefully I'll catch you for another one again soon, though. When we look at Just Jason Keto, we see live streams. He's on every Thursday at 7:30 Eastern, sometimes with a guest, sometimes himself, sometimes bringing a different style of content while we talk keto and while we talk YouTube. But sometimes he's introducing us to some of his YouTube friends as well, other channel owners that have had impact on him, which is great to know. So either way, you're going to meet lots of friends when you're over there. And then he's got another channel set up called It's Just Jason. And then when we look at this, he's got a channel set up where he's prepared to post different types of content that wouldn't otherwise fit on the keto-based channel. Every year he does like a hummingbird video, for instance. Those will start showing up here. That's the intent. And then maybe some travel, and he's got some shorts over here to get us started. But he's a fellow Canadian. I've met up with him a small handful of times already. We'll likely do some more of that. I thought we might get a chance to meet up with Cove Action, but that's not going to happen this weekend, so we'll save that for another time. But soon enough, hopefully we'll get a meetup happening. We should do one while the weather is good, and we'll arrange a day and time. I'll put the word out, and we'll try to get some friends from around the southern Ontario area. Maybe if we've got some friends around upstate New York that want to come across, that would be cool too. Rushing Wind Mountain is coming up next, so let's take a break, and we're going to go for 3.5 minutes. We will come back after I play a clip from an interview series of videos that we have on the channel now. And these are friends of ours that have been with us, some of them since the very beginning, all of them for years. And they're all going through all the same things we are. They've been through all the same things we've been through. And they share their knowledge, specifically when it comes to the idea of how to get over 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channels. So Edna, thank you for all of this. You mentioned comments earlier quickly, and that's one of the things that comes up in every interview. Of course, we're going to talk about likes, views, subs, and everything else, but comments are a very important part of our interaction with our audience. So what can you tell us in your experience of 8 years now about how to entice more comments on your video shorts and streams?
I can't remember who told me this, but years ago somebody told me, I think I was watching like somebody that I always watched, and one of the things that they said to grow your channel was to always give your audience a job to do.
Okay.
Always give them a call to action, because that's going to keep the people engaged. So if I'm talking about cruising, and then you just kind of have to know how to just ease it into your sentence. So it's like, thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. But then also, if I'm talking about a specific thing, like the slot pool, I'll say, have you ever participated in a slot pool? Leave a comment, let me know. And say that. And it's like you're just saying it so naturally that people aren't even realizing that you're making them be engaged, because now they want to tell you their experience.
Yes.
The slot pool. If I'm doing regular life vlogs, like I'm notorious for not liking to try new things. Okay, so everybody's always trying to make me eat new foods, and I'm like, have you ever eaten this? What did you put? We have a big debate about grits. I don't know if you eat grits. Does sugar go on grits, sugar or salt? So that's always, give people something to talk about, and they'll have to, give you their experience. Another thing is to sort of have like an intro and an outro. Okay. If I'm doing a live stream or whatever, it's just like, hey guys, come in. If I'm doing a video, it's, hey guys, happy whatever day it is. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. If I'm doing a sit down video, then I say, hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for clicking this video. Because I feel like a sit down is so much different than a vlog. With
Certainly.
the vlog is like me talking to my friends. Hey y'all, this is what we're going to Target today. Let's walk around Target. But if I'm sitting down, that means I'm doing something real specific. I'm only talking about what the topic is. So
Right.
thank you for clicking this video, because thank you. You have an interest in this particular topic.
All right, we are just about back and going to look at Rushing Wind Mountain right now. This is Ruby, and she comes from the Pacific Northwest and brings us a channel that has a lot of content, both in shorts, videos, and live streams from nature and wildlife, more so than anything else. And thank you, Scratch and PPA. Oh, I missed that, but that's okay. For any of our friends watching right now that aren't in the chat, I'm going to remove the time limit right now. We always set that because it helps with spam and trolling and stuff like that. Gives everybody a chance to see what we're doing. If you can't get into the chat, just please refresh your browser or app, or go out and come back in, and you should be able to get in. And thank you so much. Yes, Mrs. G, Mrs. G, you fave auntie. Good to see you here. Yoga with Goga's in the house, so we get a little bit of a flood of some new friends, or not new friends, but friends coming in. New today, longtime friends. Trini in Finland is here. And then Fluffy Diva TV is in the house. Rebounding with Cheryl is here. And then Roxanne British is also in the house. Oh, and then, yeah, D-Lo Flow between Streamlabs. Because we see the same thing over and over and over again from them. Ninja Raid. Was that Red's room that sent that in? And forgive me, because I'm going to make a mistake here. Yeah, Red's room. Red's room is also from Toronto. When I talk about the idea of setting up a meetup, that's somebody that I want to invite. They're here with us occasionally, but they've done this kind of thing many times where they've sent in friends. And they're streaming just about every day as well. But they might be somebody that would be into that. We'll see. But thank you, everybody, for coming in. Yeah, Red's Room has been incredibly supportive to a lot of people. I know they're constantly trying to connect creators together in a similar way to what we do here. They've been a friend of ours for quite a while and happen to be only a few hours away from me, if I understand right. I think they're closer to the Toronto area in Ontario, and I'm in Niagara Falls. So, wouldn't be surprised if we've crossed paths at some point, and maybe we can make that happen again. So, Lucy Grace, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. When we look at Rushing Wind Mountain, this creator is bringing us nature and wildlife, and the videos that they provide give us pleasing audio, pleasing visuals to go along with that. I'm just going to grab a different kind of video here. Interesting that you mentioned the white noise for sleep. Some of our friends, Scratch and PPA and Just Jason Keto, I think, and a few other people probably saw a live stream I did on my personal channel the other day. I live in Niagara Falls, so I often walk around outdoor live streaming there. And I wanted to show everybody the sound of the Niagara Falls, because much like what Ruby probably has in this video, it's a very soothing, like white noise kind of sound that comes along with that. But I recently finally upgraded reluctantly to an iPhone 17e. I was using an iPhone 11, and the noise reduction is so aggressive on that phone that you can't hear the background noise because it wants to cancel it out. So I got to get a different mic or something like that. But the noise from waterfalls and things like that can be so loud that Kristen Walton and I live 9 minutes away, literally, from the Horseshoe Falls in Niagara. It's driveway to driveway, 9 minutes. We can hear the falls from our bedroom window most of the time. We live in a quieter area. There's not like, huge freeways and stuff around us and this and that. But, yeah, the iPhone 17, the sound's incredible, but it blocks out just about everything that it thinks is background noise. So, Rushing Wind Mountain, this is what we have to expect. Pleasing audio, pleasing visuals, as you can see, and like I said, primarily from the Pacific Northwest. And when we get into short videos, some of these have done really well, but you're going to find a lot of wildlife here. And this is where the humorous moments are found in these videos as well. So plenty of these have done up to 38,000, 39,000, one at 112,000. I'm not sure which have been promoted and which have not, but that's something we're seeing more and more on channels these days. Ms. TT Mix Vlogs, good to see you in the house. Mona Did What is also here. And then, yeah, no, it's not noisy, Jem Palazzo. It's actually the opposite. It's fairly quiet. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the smallest towns in the world, but I love the idea of a city that's big enough that it has everything, which Niagara Falls pretty much does, but small enough that people still wish you a nice day when you leave the grocery store. Right? Because that doesn't always happen anymore, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And, Niagara Falls is a beautiful place, known as the honeymoon capital of the world. It's a beautiful place to visit, but it's a wonderful place to live, in my opinion, as well. But the falls, it's not that it's noisy, it's just that you can hear them. If you listen for it, when like you're out in the country and it's silent and you can hear every single sound, it's that kind of a thing. When you're closer to a big city, the highways and airplanes and things like that, they drown out a lot of the otherwise nature-ish sounds that we might experience. And then Yeah, the Stock Explorer. I'm sure Orlando. I'm sure all of Florida has its. I mean, a lot of everything. You got major cities there between. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but let's just say Orlando, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville. What am I forgetting? Daytona. I'm not sure how big Daytona is. I used to have family there. My family from Tampa moved to Atlanta. And I just found out, I was talking to them yesterday, and I realized there's a story I tell often about going to Florida when I was 18 years old. But it wasn't Florida, it was Atlanta that I went to. They had already moved to Atlanta. I'd been to Florida a couple times when I was too young to remember. But Atlanta, yeah, I'd been. Someday I hope to go again. Maybe this year, we'll see. And then Van Lot is coming up in another moment here. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Oh, rain sounds that won't be copyrighted by YouTube. So I can't guarantee, but I'll show everybody a website that I've been using forever. So there's this website, and it's really from a company called Envato. E-N-V-A-T-O. I'll type it in the chat. Now, I don't want to it's not recommending. I'm just saying that I have used this and I have found success in tiny amounts of things. Our copyright-free music does not come from here. That's stuff that I bought from ghost producers on Fiverr or other places that I own the rights to. You know, it's a very different thing than what we're talking about here. But they are supposed to be able to have copyright-free sounds of all kinds, not just music. I did a podcast many years ago, well over 10 years ago now, but the intro for that podcast came from this website, and they actually have much more than audio. So Audio Jungle is what they call this, but they've got other websites all connected with video. They've got things like websites and other code like apps. They've got graphics. They've got other stock photos and things like that. They've also got an unlimited marketplace where you pay a subscription fee. It's like 35 bucks a month or something like that, and you have a little bit of everything. The best stuff you have to pay extra for, of course, like most places, but you can. And again, I don't want to recommend it, but it is a place that I know of. I trust them. And what I can tell everybody as a trick that anybody can do, I do this with our copyright-free music before I ever publish it or post it. So I'll make a video, or I'll take the content that I want and I'll put it into a video format. I'll upload it into YouTube as unlisted and see if any copyright claims come against it. I'll leave it there for as long as I can, sometimes weeks, even months. And then if nothing comes up, then I say, okay, I can probably use this. But I do that to screen all the copyright-free music that I buy, just in case somebody tries to rip me off or something like that. At least I can know. But you know what I mean. Yeah, so Envato. If you search Envato, you'll find it right away. And then Van Lot is up on the screen right now. Another over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. There's a lot going on this channel. They've just been with us a couple of months now, but they have got a few things that I've learned already. First of all, Big Daddy's Workshop. This creator is making all kinds of remarkable things with wood in their shop. I believe there's family togetherness on this channel. This I'm still learning about, but when we look at the shorts on the channel, we see a little bit of this. And yeah, this creator is always in great spirits as well. Getting into 2,100, 2,500 views on a couple of the shorts videos, then live streams on the channel. I've been lucky enough to have caught them for a couple of different ones. This creator is sharing a lot of spiritual inspiration They have a loyal and dedicated audience. You will meet new friends while you're over there in the chat in a very similar way to what we do here. Season 247 Food, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. I know we had a raid from Red's Room. I'm not sure if they came over, but they sent some friends over. Oh, goodness. Rushing on Mountain Ruby. Yes, I wondered if I missed anybody in the chat. Forgive me, I feel like I did. And Van Lot, pardon me, has 473 subscribers. They are an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And we'd love to push them towards that 500. We know it's an important and exciting milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. They're on just about every day as well. So Van Lot, if you're still in the chat listening right now, just let us know if you're going to be on tonight. There's Jody Genealogy. She's on frequently as well. And then let's think about spinning the wheel. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. I can tell I'm screaming at the camera again. I'm going to try to calm that down a little bit. One of the things most of us, anybody who live streams, probably finds you raise your voice. When I'm outside or even on the phone, I just scream all the time. I don't mean to do it. Oh, there you are. Yeah, Red's Room TV. Good to see you in the house. I was talking earlier. Thank you for the raid, by the way. Again, they've done that a handful of times. I certainly do appreciate it. But Red's Room TV, I believe, is in the Toronto area or close to it. And I'm in Niagara Falls. But what I am thinking about is possibly setting up some day that a handful of us can meet up. We've done it a couple times in Toronto when we've had friends going specifically there. And then we said, okay, we'll go together. But I wonder about doing something either in Niagara or close to it, if that's possible. But Red's Room, if you're into that kind of thing, we got a handful of other YouTube channel owners that would likely come and visit. I'm always a fan of meetups. And then Red's Room TV with some fatherly duties, which is great to know. Trini in Finland, thank you for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. So Trini in Finland will come up next, and then the Stock Explorers up here right now. And this creator is from Florida. They're a beloved and dedicated moderator here. They actually have a couple of channels. And then just before I talk about their content, I see Tim Mitchell's gifting a handful of memberships. We saw that from OG Sean White and the Feral Grandma today as well, but I really do appreciate that extra generous support. Tim's making me laugh in the chat. Yeah, would you look at that? Look at all the green in the chat now, my dear goodness. He always comes in and he says, let's make some green, and then sure enough, the chat gets a little more green. So I certainly do appreciate it. You know, I joke. I hope you don't feel I ever expect that kind of thing. It truly is absolutely unnecessary. Always appreciated. Tim Mitchell's done that kind of thing many times. So has Blonde Traveling Gypsy, who's coming in to do the same thing right now. I know they've been here since the beginning of the stream, but I do appreciate the handful of gifted memberships. I know the recipients will be happy to have those. Home Bartending with John, good to see you in the house. There was something I was thinking about with John the other day. Somebody asked about you a few weeks ago, just like if you're still out and about and that kind of thing. But Home Bartending with John, I think it's that you were in the stream and I missed saying hello to you, if I'm not mistaken, the other day. I can't remember if it was on the 6-year anniversary or the stream before that or something like that, but forgive me because I'm tripping over myself talking about it now. But Home Bartending with John's been a over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter for years here. It's been a while since they've posted content, but they are a longtime dear friend to a lot of people. And actually, they do bartending on their channel. Like, they teach us how to make cocktails, and they do a lot of comparisons, like, you know, beers and vodkas and things like that. but they take requests, and John's made a couple of different drinks that I've asked for, which is kind of a cool idea. Let you be a part of the content. And then, so Tim Mitchell and Blonde Traveling pardon me, I keep saying the same thing. Blonde Traveling Gypsy is going to be coming up after Trini in Finland. So we've got a little bit of a list building up here. Crafty Witch 232 still in the house, and hopefully I'm not missing anybody. And then the Stock Explorer we're talking about right now. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Oh, thank you, Moda Did What. Always good to see you. She's a longtime dear friend with a monster channel now. I forget how many subscribers she has. Thousands. She has tons of friends. A truly dynamic creator. She's been with us for years. I wonder if everybody's seen the Suno system. I don't know when the update came out, but I see advertisements for that as well in my Facebook feed, like for Suno. And one of the things I saw, I'm not sure if that's where or on YouTube or what I saw, but it said that you can add your own voice into Suno now, which is, I can't wait to see what everybody's going to do with that, because even I've thought about giving it a try. And then there you go. Yes, season 24/7 food, big up for sure. The Stock Explorers here, and Nora is going to talk to us about stocks, a little bit of crypto, and they actually lately do a lot of lottery ticket scratching, but more variety than anything else on their channel. And of course, like I said, they come from Florida. The latest series of videos is called Scratching with Strangers, where they're literally meeting people for the first time, scratching lottery tickets with them while they get to know them or hear stories from them. If we dig through the videos, we're going to see what they had to say a few years ago about some of the biggest companies like Tesla and Amazon, and they bring a little bit of variety here. One of the things that Nora does on her channel, and thank you for the share, by the way. See, they shared the Tuber Chat stream on their community tab, so thank you for that. They bring a lot of members-only content, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek at it right now. But this is what we call alpha when we're thinking about stocks or crypto or basically any market that kind of moves that the Stock Explorer might be making or exploring, usually with options plays. But this creator posts a lot of this for their members on their channel, and then you see they do a lot of sharing for other channels. They shared our 6-year anniversary stream the other day, so thank you for that also. Nora's been a beloved and dedicated moderator here for as long as I can remember, but they've been with us pretty much from the beginning. When we look at shorts on this channel, we see more variety, but this creator's got a few here into 3,300, 4,900, one at 18,000. And we know that this one continues to get views because we've seen it go from 16 to 17 to 18. And then, oh, interesting, Red's Room TV. You can now use crypto for Buy Me a Coffee, which is great, finally. More and more companies are going to be adding this in. And apparently, for those following crypto, the Clarity Act might actually have light at the end of the tunnel. We might see it this year, if not in the next couple of months. And they've sorted out their stablecoin thing. We're not apparently going to get rewards on stablecoins just for holding them. Unfortunately, like, you know how you have like these high interest bank accounts that pay 0.25% or up to 3% and things like that. Stable coins in crypto have been paying a lot more than that for a long time, but they might be putting the axe on that and saying, no, you have to actually do something. But they're sorting that out. I'm talking like I know exactly the details, and I don't. I try to follow, but I listen to other people who teach me about that. I certainly don't, am not an authority. And then Together We Travel, good to see you in the house. Yes, you know, Hala is that system that everybody's using to make that music. So we have a song that was made for us by our friend Jake Huston a long time ago, and I often play it at the end of the stream. But you hear it on all kinds of channels. A lot of creators have made theme songs, some for each other, as a matter of fact. And then, yeah, so Pi Network, I have D-Lo Flow Show but I must have clicked the thing to hold, because I love staking everything. I really don't have a lot of crypto, but for the little bit that I do, I try to stake it and get rewards or yield off of that. And the Pi network, I must have locked it up to like 2027 or something like that. So when I tried to go get it, it's stuck, but I've got it. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Matt Mouse is still here. Cruz Bolero's in the house. And Gemini can make music now, says Just Jason Keto. Claude put out some updates and doubled all their limits. They made a deal with SpaceX for their compute, because all these AI systems use tons of computer resources and everything. They call it compute. And Claude opened right up the second they did that. So that'll be interesting, because some of these companies, like, what's the use of all of them having their own data centers? You know, it's going to cost a fortune. They can share and pay each other and stuff like that, and, you know, charge everybody like they do with us anyway. But nice to see that they're actually giving more value for people who are already paying. But gold and silver, yes, are kings. I am a huge fan of precious metals. The Stock Explorer up on the screen has live streams as well. This creator sometimes does StreamYard panels, friendly conversation. Sometimes they're talking stocks, a little bit of crypto. A lot of times they're lottery ticket scratch battling with other creators. Nora and I actually had a friendly conversation about YouTube, pardon me, on her channel a couple years ago. If you go on the channel and search, I'm sure everybody knows this, but just for the sake of saying, if you didn't already realize this, you can search somebody's channel, right? So, and I never talk about this, but you can. So we click the little search thing here, and then if I search for Tuber Chat, you'll see that a live stream comes up where Nora and I got together. It's 3 years ago now, so it's quite some time. Be interesting to hear what we had to say. But you see, we talked for a couple of hours about our friendship, about moderators, about YouTube and our journey and tips and tricks and things we've learned and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody will connect with the Stock Explorer. This is Nora, and she's got a second channel called Tropical Buzz. This one she posts on occasionally, but in Florida, quite a growing season, we must say. And this creator is going to help educate us about plant life, some of which is already there, some of which they're going to grow themselves. And they've got a few shorts to get the channel started, and they've got over 300 subscribers. We'd love to push them a little bit farther over here as well. So hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Yeah, Nora got some serious screen time there. I'm trying to keep the story time to a minimum, but apparently I can't help myself. Everything I try. I shouldn't have spun the wheel. So luckily the wheel was looking out for me there. Trini in Finland is coming up first, and then we're going to see Tim Mitchell, and then we're going to see Blonde Traveling Gypsy. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @ Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. So Trinidadian living in Finland. This is Trini in Finland in the chat. They've been with us a few months now. And this creator, I'm still getting to know their content. I've been through a few videos so far. But they say from the Caribbean sun to the cold north, showcasing difference in cultures and cuisine. In I'll leave that word because I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. But they're a Trinidadian living in Finland. So kind of a cool idea, right? And then we look at all the cooking videos they've got going on here. So I'm just going to grab one of these jerk fish with broccoli, rice, and fresh salad. And then a lot of people will be interested in smoothies like this too. I'm just going to grab the latest video though. I'm going to put that in my catch-up list. That one's nice, 26 minutes, plenty of watch time. They're already monetized here, but we always want to think about keeping that locked in. When we look at what Trinidadian and Finland is doing with shorts, we see that these have gotten now into 10,000, 13,000, 26,000 views. My dear goodness. And then live streams on the channel as well. And Trini in Finland, I caught them for a live stream the other day. I've caught them a couple of times before. But hopefully everybody will connect, put that notification bell on. We do it for every single channel, and then we have the best chance of catching each other for these live streams. Now, they dropped a super chat right after coming in from Red's Room Raid. So thank you for that. I certainly do appreciate that extra generous support. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put Red's Room on the wheel right now. Because thank you for that raid, by the way. And then Tim Mitchell is coming up right this second. They gifted a handful of memberships again. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So I was behind in adding a couple of names, but John Lucas is back in the chat. CraftyWitch232's been added. And then Silver Assassin, Metal Detecting, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. They're a longtime friend now. Silver Assassin Metal Detecting will be a fan of precious metals. Certainly more than most, but my goodness, has gold and silver had quite a year and a half. Tim Mitchell is up on the screen right now. This creator is actually responsible for a few different channels. So we're going to talk about their content right now. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. Then we'll get back to spinning the wheel as we always do. We're going to go on a break in a few minutes here. We'll come back with Blonde Travel and Gypsy. I just got to save my voice. That's why we take all these breaks. Otherwise, I'd have to cut the stream at 2.5 hours. But this is what lets us keep it going for an extra half hour. And thank you for the share, Red's Room TV. Thank you, everybody, for all the shares, all the kind words. I know people are saying wonderful things about Tuber Chat after all this time in plenty of live streams and videos and things like that. So Tim Mitchell, like I said, is responsible for a few different channels, and he's got his own, though. This one here brings a lot of outdoor content. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,300, 1,500, 16, and even 1,900. Lots of dash cam footage here, but otherwise outdoor content. And then when we get into live streams, we see that this creator's on typically every Tuesday. They take us on the road. They do a great job of keeping up with the chat while they're doing that. I only catch them occasionally now because they literally like stream right smack in the middle of my work day. Occasionally, if I have an early afternoon and they have a late day, then we cross paths. But Tim Mitchell is an over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. As you can see, like I said, he gifted a handful of memberships. We've seen that a few times today, and he's done that 100 times, if not 1,000 by now. And then we're going to look at a couple more channels that he produces videos and live streams for. As a matter of fact, a 4-camera multicam setup, if that makes sense, in these live streams. This is Cooking with the Munchie Mafia Official. They're doing a few different things here. The general concept of the channel is for Chef Civi to help us understand a lot that goes on in the kitchen, not just making interesting meals, dishes, and combinations, but also helping us navigate the kitchen, learning about cookware, bakeware, appliances, including even product reviews. There's a video talking about Chef Civi and Tim Mitchell right there. I've seen that one. I love videos like that, but so it's a great chance to get introduced to both of them. And then you'll notice a theme happening through some of the thumbnails, the banner here with a colorful wheel. Of course, we like colorful wheels in the Tuber Chat live streams. This creator's gotten, there's the wheel again, they've gotten into 1,500, 1,800, 2,600 views. That is the Mystery Wheel of Misfortune, and that comes alive in the live streams. They typically stream on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Once a month, they do something a little bit different. They've actually got quite a setup here for a few weeks, but Chef Civi makes different combinations based on what comes up from the Mystery Wheel of Misfortune. The ingredients are contributed by the audience in the chat, so you can literally be a part of the content over here. And there's some interesting combinations, to say the least. And then now Chef Civi and Tim Mitchell are getting involved with other channels for a collaboration that happens at least once a month. They're making sugar-free treats or desserts. They've done key lime pie, they've done molten lava cake, they've got cinnamon rolls coming up later this month, and that's with Butler Family Farm and Devil Dog as well. And then Mac Movement, good to see you in the house. Yeah, Michael's Adventures loves naps. I haven't been taking naps lately. I was for a long time. I've been off it for a while. I might take a glorious nap this weekend. That's something to look forward to for me. Is like, oh, if I can find a period of like 2 hours, something like that. But the problem is, for most people, as far as I understand, taking a nap means like laying down on a couch or a bed or something, closing your eyes, and then waking up in 20 minutes. For me, it's going to bed. Like, I'm literally in bed. Nap is like a mini nighttime for me. And then let's look at the official off-topic squirrel. Yeah, nap doesn't sound like the worst idea this weekend. Like, I'm laughing at myself. You have to laugh at yourself, right? Everybody loves when somebody laughs at their own jokes, but my dear goodness, am I interested to know how I light up when I talk about the idea of taking a nap. I got a friend who jokes about that because we went to a seminar one day, and it was like one of those motivational things. They give you some tips and tricks about websites and online stuff and marketing and everything. And we left the thing. There was 3 of us, and the 2 other friends, they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to get home and get working. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go home and take a nap. They're like, how can you sleep? How can you sleep when we just learned a bunch of stuff we got to do? I know, I love to sleep, man. I love it. When we look at the official off-topic squirrel, this is a complimentary channel that comes from Chef Civi, and Tim Mitchell, of course, behind the scenes, is producing the multicam live stream setup here. They've got a couple of videos that I think are turning into a series, as a matter of fact, here, and then otherwise we get a behind-the-scenes look at Chef Civi, where she might be sharing some outdoor content or taking us on another kind of adventure, giving us a story of some sort. This creator also brings more outdoor content in the shorts on the channel, 1,200, even 1,500 views on one of these, and then live streams on the channel as well. Here, the live streams happen every last Saturday of the month. And what they're going to be doing is playing Cards Against Humanity. I've caught a couple of these so far. I was able to listen into pretty much the whole stream last time, and my dear goodness, the contributions that come in from the chat are interesting. One thing I always forget to mention, by the way, about I think they do it on both channels, but I didn't realize I caught the end of, and I'm not sure if it was that one. What was happening that day, I was listening to this live stream because I was driving. I was out. So what will happen is, like, if I happen to be driving, listening to somebody on YouTube, then what I'll do is I'll come in the apartment and then I'll put the computer on and continue on where I left off. I'm not sure if that's where I saw it or in a video or what it was. But what they often do is shout outs here for people who come and support the streams and videos and things like that. So I'll let Tim clarify exactly how that works if you don't mind. But I have seen it, so I appreciate the shout outs. I never say it. I never think to say it. I don't know why. But thank you for that. I know a lot of creators are doing that kind of thing. And I know a lot of people appreciate being shouted out. And thank you, Ben Cyan Games, for keeping that membership going. They've been a member many months on and off over the years, and they're a longtime generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter as well. And then Tim Mitchell, thank you so much for the gifted memberships again. He gifted 5 memberships earlier. He's done that a million times before. And then Blonde Travel and Gypsy has done that a million times before as well already, and they've just been with us a few months now, but we're going to look at their channel next. So what we're going to do is go for a break. We'll go for 3.5 minutes again, give our voice a rest, grab a drink, do all the other things we need to do. One creator is featured in the outro, is one of the features in the shout outs that happen on Tim Mitchell and Chef Civi's videos on Cooking with the Munchie Mafia official and the unofficial off-topic squirrel. So what we're going to do, never nap while you drive, says Hala. Never, for sure. And then let's think about taking that break. So we'll go for 3.5 minutes. I'm going to play another clip from that interview series. I hope everybody will watch these. If you haven't seen them yet, there are only 6 of them. I think that's going to be it for that series. But these creators share some real insight. They don't all say the same things I would say, and they don't all say the same things as each other as well. So you get a lot of different opinion about the things that can help us get 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channels. You mentioned the idea of shorts, so that gives me an opportunity to jump right into that. So, in every one of these interviews, I'm asking about opinions, about shorts, how we can get them to work for us. But you're the first creators that I'm talking to that have broken off into a shorts channel. I also noticed that you took the shorts off of the original channel. I'm assuming you uploaded the same ones over there, and now you have over 350 shorts on that channel. At last look, it was I think your fastest moving short video on the shorts channel, which is Unstable TV Shorts, has 22,000 views, and you're already at 768 subscribers. So the biggest thing that I think people are going to be wondering about that is, how do you feel about your decision to break your shorts off into their own channel?
So the reason we did it in the first place was because we felt like the shorts were distracting from our long form videos, because we were getting a lot of views and attention on the shorts. But while we were doing shorts and long form at the same time, it's kind of like the long form was pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the reason why we split off into a shorts channel by itself. So we kind of use that for just, skits and memes and stuff, and then we use it for promotion videos for our main channel as well. So you said some of our highest viewed videos on the shorts channel, they are clips from our long form videos with the link to send it back. So we just kind of felt it didn't sit right with our channel to have it all together, so we said we'd try and split it and see if it worked.
Yeah, because when we first put them up, we had like you're saying about the YouTube algorithm and stuff, and when you're watching the metrics go up and down. When we start putting the shorts up, the videos that would usually go up and probably after a week they performed the way they done were pushed to the back. But how we felt from how we were watching our analytics, for anyone watching, do make sure you check your analytics out regularly. It does help.
Yeah.
And there is a research tab as well, so check that out as well. It helps with your channel. So you get an idea where your viewers are coming in and what they're researching as well.
Yeah.
Just a tip for everyone. On the main channel, it didn't sit for us, but even scrolling up and down and how it looked, we didn't like it. But we used the shorts as kind of a voice, say things you can't really say on the main videos that might not go with YouTube's policies. We have a lot of fun with pranking each other and stuff like that. What we have noticed though with our shorts, anything to do with relationships or pranks wise, that skyrockets for us.
Wow.
Or if we do say a trend of meme, sometimes we might get something and sometimes we not.
Yeah.
But we've learned that shorts really help us have them crazy ideas where you just get a bit wild when you're filming on YouTube and you're I want to do this, or maybe this might look funny. It's kind of to make ourselves laugh and then just go that direction with it and just come up with crazy stuff then.
We're going to go for that break for 3.5 minutes in a second. That's Danielle and James. They used to live in Ireland. They moved to Australia, so they generously shared their time for one of those videos. But I noticed that Jen Palazzo just mentioned something in the chat. Do I see a trend with more large YT creators, or creators with large YouTube channels, putting more emphasis on Instagram? So I haven't noticed it myself right now, but I don't follow a lot of YouTubers with monster channels, like the millions of subscribers and things like that. I do follow a couple of channels like that. Like when I follow crypto, one of the channels is probably the biggest one, called Altcoin Daily. But I do that because I want to keep up with the news. So I watch 2 or 3 crypto videos a day. I watch 2 or 3 videos on either Claude or AI per day, so I can stay up with it and learn. The rest is either friends on YouTube or something like of serious interest to me personally, or it's all Tuber Chat friends, right? And I'll give any channel a chance. So, you know, my favorite crypto mining channel, the guy started with almost, you know, he started same as we do. We all start with 0 and had under 1,000 subscribers while I was watching most of his videos. And then there's, you know, people with 10,000, 50,000, like any number. But I don't follow the biggest channels. But I'm not surprised. If I was to grasp at straws and wonder why it might be that bigger YouTubers are starting to put more emphasis on other platforms, whether it's Instagram or anywhere else, is because a long time ago, there was no monetization in the way that we see this kind of thing now. As far as I see, YouTube is still the king. It is the platform that most people can make, pardon me, the biggest amount of money the fastest out of all the platforms, if that makes sense. What I mean by that is, if somebody was to ask me today, what's the fastest way for me to make money online if I'm willing to make videos, I would say YouTube is probably it. But I wouldn't recommend somebody become a YouTuber. I would recommend they become a content creator and cross-post on as many networks as they can possibly make time for. That goes for all of us. And then see what happens, because some people do better on other platforms. It's just that most people do better on YouTube as far as I've seen. But now that these other platforms are monetizing, why wouldn't anybody add them if they could? If these big YouTubers have the staff and have the crews and have the help, why wouldn't they hire an Instagram expert and a YouTube or a TikTok expert and a Kick expert and a Rumble expert and all this stuff to do the things for them? So that might be what's going on. When you start making like really serious income on YouTube, and it's up to everybody to decide what serious is, but let's say even $1,000, not even 10,000 or 100,000 a month, but let's just say $1,000 a month. If you could make an extra $100 a month on Instagram with a lot of the same content and not that much more effort, it might be worth it, right? So that's kind of the idea. And it is absolutely competitive, Ken Drago. So thank you for coming in, by the way, for the very first time. Hopefully everybody's making you feel welcome. And a lot of what I share here is opinion. Sometimes I'm sure it sounds like I think I know everything. I don't mean that. I just speak very quickly because we're racing through channels and everything. But I learn from creators with channels of all sizes every single day. We've been doing this for many years. I've been on for 9 years, but I continue to learn. I always want to do better. I'm still trying to do different things, and I do as much as I can make time for. Like everybody else. So everybody can see this channel does very well when we think about monetization and that kind of transactional success, let's just say. But there's lots of other things that can benefit us. There's things people can do like product reviews and sponsored videos. You know, I've done plenty of those things on other channels as well. There's lots of ways to bring income in, but other platforms allow that also. So this is the thing, for anybody that's already doing spectacularly, if you are able to cross-post on TikTok and Instagram and everything else, why not bring in that extra sliver of income? It depends on where you think you're going to have the best success and what success means to everybody. For some people, it means sticking with YouTube but opening Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon, right? A lot of creators now, I'm starting to follow a couple people on School, which is another platform, SKOOL, which is very much like Udemy, I believe it's pronounced, which I've been following for years, UDEMY, where people are providing courses and tutorials and things like that. So people can find success in a lot of different ways. People are selling digital products. Lots of people are selling things on Etsy, you know, related to YouTube and this and that. So lots of ideas. Yeah, Instagram was something that I felt clunky to get into because I came from MySpace and Facebook. Like, I've been in social media from the beginning. I didn't like Instagram when I first started to try to use it. I thought it was so annoying. Like, it's not intuitive. But that's just because I was used to the way Facebook works, or used to the way that MySpace used to work, and I'm used to email and other things. And Instagram was just so different. But now that's where I spend all my time. I check Instagram 10 times a day minimum for messages and things like that. It's really just seeing if anybody wants to get a hold of me for some reason. The moderators, we all have an Instagram group where we talk about the things we see on YouTube and keep each other informed, either about each other's channels or Superchat and things like that. But yeah, TikTok I use probably the least of everybody here, or close to it. Snapchat I've almost never used. I have them. I always sign up. I even signed up for Subs, which is the new one from the creator of OnlyFans. I know they've passed on, that's horrible news, but Subs is something that they tried to do as like, we're going to do a legitimate thing. That's not, but I don't think it's possible. I don't think the same people can market one thing and market an absolutely different thing without some crossover. I just don't think it can be done. And I love marketing, so, cheers to them if they can make it happen. That's interesting. Just Jason Keto says they have to make completely different videos for IG. So forgive me, Blonde Travel and Gypsy are getting quite a bit of screen time here, rightfully so and justified. But I'm going to talk about the content in a second, but I just want to show everybody something for a quick moment here. So I've been using Claude instead of ChatGPT lately. I still use the free version of ChatGPT for some things, but I pay for Claude. And it works the same way. So I'm using Claude now, and Claude has other things. It's the reason why I work with it. Something called Claude Code is what I've been working with. But I just want to show you what happens if I say, like for instance, hopefully I'll not wreck the stream by doing this, but I'll show you my Stream Deck, right? So this is an Elgato Stream Deck XL. Kristen Walton gave me an Elgato Stream Deck Mini many years ago, and I loved it so much that I had to go out and get this. This is how I switch scenes and things like that. But let's just say I was going to do a video, which I never did, but let's say I was going to do a video about the product review for that. So I say to Claude, or any Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever your favorite AI is, right? I need to make a video, and you just talk to it like a human, right? You don't have to be careful. You can make all the spelling mistakes in the world, and it understands what you mean. They all get better every week, literally. I need to make a video about the Elgato Stream Deck, like a review, but also unboxing and setup. I also want to post on Instagram and TikTok and maybe other platforms. And then I'll say, what should I do? And let's see what it comes up with. I'll talk about this, making a Stream Deck video. Whatever, it'll tell you every idea you have is great, but unless you tell it not to. I literally talk to these things sometimes, and I say, don't tell me my ideas are good, just tell me if they suck. And I really want to know. They're going way overboard with all kinds of tips about how to shoot it, what kind of scenes to have, and everything else. What exactly do you recommend for the other social networks like Reels and Stories, and complementary content for the YouTube video? And we'll see what it comes back with, because it was talking about how to make the video. What I really want to know is, because I've seen this before, how it's going to say put different content on different platforms. So the Instagram audience might want to see things like 3 Stream Deck setups that help save me hours every week, or stop using your Stream Deck wrong, or Mini versus MK2 or something like that. That's what it says for Instagram Reels. Stories, it says use behind the scenes filming. Ask the audience, what should I review next? Countdown sticker for the YouTube drop. TikTok, React style. It says we want to do something like things Stream Deck owners do that drive me crazy, or storytelling, like I bought this 3 years ago and here's what changed. These are good ideas. I should actually do these. When you look at Twitter, it says something different, right? A thread with 4 or 5 photos and your key takeaways, linking to YouTube at the end. Threads, another thing. But you see what I mean. If you play around with the AI systems, even the free versions of them, because you see I didn't really do anything in there, could have been done with the free one. I did see you, Butler Family Farm. I've actually got you on the wheel from earlier, but I get talking and then I don't watch the chat, if that's what you mean. But when you use these things, it can give you ideas. Like Jason is touching on the idea of doing different content on different social networks because the audiences are different. You know what I mean? Just like, some of us can do similar content. Like, let's say, somebody's in here. I don't know if there's another lottery ticket scratching channel in here right now, but Scratch and PPA has his own scratch challenge that is not like any other channel that I've ever seen. I'm sure he invented his own system. He invented his own type of content. And now that's what we all know the best. Right? And then there's other people who do, traditional, simple lottery ticket scratching and things like that. And he does a little bit of that too. I'm not sure if that's a good analogy, but you know what I mean. Matt and Mouse are building a cabin in the woods. They have a cabin in the woods. They show us all the different things that come along with that. But there's lots of channels out there that have cabins in the woods. They're going to have different audiences, and their audiences are going to want different things, no matter how similar we think the content is, if that makes any sense. And then, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Matt and Mouse, yes. Well, it's nice when you have a couple of people who can share the responsibilities of the social media. Jody Genealogy, forgive me, I didn't have you on the wheel, I don't think yet. I know you've been here a long time. I mentioned it earlier. It's Marketplace Boutique. And then... yes, thank you, Butler Family Farm. Actually, I mentioned something earlier, so it might be too late notice for Monday, but I wanted to run by you at some point the idea. We can message. I talk to Jerry occasionally on, I think, Facebook behind the scenes or Instagram. But basically, the idea is every 3 weeks or so, we're going to crash right into Butler Family Farm because they're on Mondays, and every 3 weeks we're on Mondays or somewhere thereabouts. But I wonder if one of these times I can convince you to do an extended live stream. I wouldn't get you to change the time, but just say maybe you want to do 2 hours instead of an hour, and then we'll raid in. Because Butler Family Farms always starts after we start, and they always finish before we finish. So impossible for us to raid, but it's a channel as deserving of a Tuber Chat raid as anybody. So just an idea. Forgive me for all I've missed in the chat, because Butler Family Farm's not kidding. I do miss a lot that goes on, especially when I'm talking so much. But I'm going to try to keep it to a minimum. I just wanted to go through this because it's all YouTube related. Anything that can be helpful, I'm sure everybody wants to talk about. And I like showing everybody how I'm using AI because I'm using it every day. And then P&J Homestead Adventures, good to see you in the house. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I wish I wouldn't scream at the camera, but I do. Blonde Travel and Gypsy. Did I say we were going to take that break and we didn't take the break? I'll wait for our moderators to let me know if I... because I wanted to say something about a comment in the chat. And then I can't remember if we did the 3 minutes or if I came right in after that clip. Maybe we'll go for 3.5 minutes and come back. My voice is already struggling because I've been screaming at the camera. Mac Movement moves them around. Hey, whatever works though, right? Okay, thank you, Scratch and PPA. So we're going to take 3 minutes and we'll come right back, and then we'll finally talk about Blonde Travel and Gypsy. Oh, and then the lives are just an update for anyone that would like to know what's going on. Unless you're going to do one like a panel. I know you haven't done it in a while, Jerry, but if you guys are going to do like a StreamYard panel or something, it's just an idea more than anything. I've wished I could start early on Monday so I could get in there and raid, but I can't. Monday's like an almost impossibility. The next Monday I have coming up, I don't think I'm expecting to be on. When is our... I can't remember when our holiday is. Okay, anyway, pardon me, everybody. Let's make it quick. We'll go for 3.5 minutes and we'll come right back. Alright, we're just about back. So finally, Blonde Travel and Gypsy, they gifted a handful of memberships again. They've done it many times before. I said 100 times before, 1,000,000 times before. But it has been an overly abundant number of times already in just a short amount of time. I certainly do appreciate the overwhelmingly generous support myself. And for us here on this channel. I give back a lot, not all by any means or not even close, but I'm just saying I try to give some back, let's just say a significant portion, but I do appreciate that kind of thing. And I know all the recipients of those memberships will be happy to have them. Cruise Ship Drone, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Exploradora 80 is here. They're live streaming, I think. I don't know if they stream every day or pretty close to it. And I cleaned up the wheel a little bit. I added some names from people I know are here that hadn't been added already. Home Bartending with John's just getting added now, so forgive me for the delay. We'll get around to spinning the wheel in another moment here. But I do appreciate everybody's patience. We still got an hour to go. That's lots of time. Plenty of time to put plenty of channels on the screen. And then Just Jason Keto's got a premiere afterwards with Michael's Adventures at the same time. They both are beloved and dedicated moderators here. They both give us an extra opportunity to continue connecting in exactly the same way we are here. And then the Jay Jordan always shares, usually on X. Thank you for that. I really do appreciate that as well. I appreciate all the shares. It's one of the biggest things that everybody can do for each other. We talk a lot about monetization and memberships and super chats and buy me a coffee and Patreon and merchandise and Etsy and Fiverr and all these other things. Pardon me, but there are a lot of ways that everybody can help each other for free. And the thumbs up are part of it. Every moment that we watch each other's videos, every bit of engagement in the chat or comments really help. But sharing is one of the biggest things. And as a hint, sharing on the community tab, or I keep calling it the community tab, but you know what I mean, is the number one thing that I've been thanked for over all these years on Superchat as the host for sharing for other people. But sharing on outside social networks is one of the biggest things we could do for each other, whether it's Reddit or Facebook or X or Threads or Blue Sky or Rumble or wherever you like to post. So Blonde Traveling Gypsies up on the screen right now. Like I said, this creator gifted a handful of memberships. Again, they've done it many times already. I'm just going to... I didn't watch this video yet. Forgive me. Actually, I've been talking about the catch-up list again today, but I did not get a chance to watch it. I did run it, but not watch it. So I think what I'm going to do is leave all the videos in there. And over this weekend, I'm going to go through. So for some of you that have been here, for the last 3 streams or so, I will end up, watching and commenting on like 3 different videos this weekend or 2 different videos. That's all that's about. But I don't want to clear them out. I wanted to see this video. My family has a weekend coming up in about a month from now, and one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is a breakfast thing, because we're doing like kind of a almost outdoorsy cottage weekend kind of thing, and I love breakfast. Love the idea of breakfast. So I want to see that video. Thank you, Rushing Wind Mountain. And then when we look at Blonde Traveling Gypsy, we see information on the About section to let us know exactly what we're going to expect on the channel. They got shorts over here as well. Forgive me, I'm going to take another video. I'm going to put this one. They let fireworks go off in New Mexico. I'm going to put this video on my catch-up list and see what that's about also. They're working on 700 subscribers, which is great to see. And they've got shorts on the channel into 3,800, 5,500, 7,700 views, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. So I caught them last week. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one of these again. They seem to be streaming every couple of days. They did 2 today already, by the look of it. So we'll see if they're going to do any more of these in the next couple of days. So hopefully everybody will connect with Blonde Traveling Gypsy. And I certainly do appreciate, I know I say it, but I really do appreciate the extra generous support here on this channel. Personally, I appreciate it, but I know that the recipients will be happy to have those memberships. But again, memberships and super chats on this channel are absolutely unnecessary. They are appreciated when they come in. And then, yeah, a breakfast. Now, a big breakfast and a nap right after sounds glorious. Actually, breakfast is my favorite thing to eat when it's like 4 in the morning. Like at the end of a really long night. I don't do that anymore, but when I did a million times before. I used to work in nightclubs and things like that. So every Friday, Saturday, and statutory holiday, I'd be out until all hours of the night, but it wasn't long enough. So we'd go to Perkins, for anybody who knows that chain or franchise or whatever it is. We have it here in Niagara Falls, and I think there's more than one in Toronto. I could be wrong. But we used to go and have what they call the Tremendous 12 breakfast. If 4 people order that breakfast, there is too much food to sit on the table. That is the kind of breakfast that I like to eat at 4 in the morning. And then, yeah, Matt Mouse, Tuber Chat nap time. You know what I thought about doing for the 6th year episode, and I didn't, or for the 6-year anniversary, I didn't do it. I was going to split the stream into 2 parts. I didn't think about taking a nap in the middle, but that would have been an incredible idea for everybody. But I thought about doing it for 2 hours and then cutting it and then doing another 2 hours instead of just doing a 4-hour stream. But, yeah, Perkins at 3 a.m. is always a good idea. Breakfast for dinner, I'm always a fan of that. We do it once in a while. The Cruise Tubers, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we have a Perkins right in Niagara Falls, right beside one of the casinos here. We have 2 casinos in Niagara Falls, and then there's more all over the province here. But, yeah, there's another Perkins close to the Toronto airport where a lot of us used to meet up after the late nightclub nights. Holla is up on the screen with 813 subscribers. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards the 900 they're going to be thinking about soon. Obviously an auto enthusiast. I say it all the time. I love looking at these things, but most people will probably pick off the makes and models much better than I can. They got a different kind of video here. They're really bringing us event-based content. So they're, I would like to say travel, because they're taking us to interesting places, but it is almost always events of some sort. So whether it's a festival or a parade or a show or simply a beach, this channel is bringing us shorts as well. These have gotten into 2,900, 3,100, 3,300 views. They've got all 4 seasons to show us as well, we can see. And then live streams. So they happen to be, if I understand right, in New York. Forgive me, because I know I've asked a million times. I think you keep saying, yes, you're in New York, but they've got some content featuring New Jersey as well, which would make sense, of course. I've been lucky enough to spend a tiny amount of time in New Jersey and plenty of time in New York. But hopefully everybody will connect with Holla. And like I said, we'd like to push them towards the 900 subscribers that we know that they're thinking about. That'll be a nice solid hour of watch time right there, going through that video. And then, hopefully, I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I say it all the time. And then the Cruise Tubers, we don't do a lot of link drops here. Typically, we just search and find and click on each other's channels. And the channels that are hardest to find are the ones that need our help the most. So, sort of, in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. Denny's is still alive and well here in Niagara Falls. Haven't been in a while, but I do love any kind of American Slam breakfast. Pardon me. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Handyman Network, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And then Home Bartending with John up here right now. This creator is going to teach us how to make some of the world's most popular cocktails from the comfort of our own home. We don't have to have a home bar setup quite as elaborate as what John has got here, but he is going to share with us the different tips and tricks we might need along with recipes. He does it in a down-to-earth and simple way. He might do some comparisons as well. You know, different kinds of beers. He actually makes collections of cocktails as well. So he'll show us low-calorie cocktails or compare the best vodkas or make some non-alcoholic mocktails for instance, and then lots of product reviews and comparisons on the channel. But this creator also takes requests. So after you get in there and start to get to know John from Home Bartending with John, he will possibly make drinks that you'll see. I think I had him make the Mad Men Old Fashioned. There's a few different ways to do that. He often does 2 or 3 different ways to make a cocktail. And then I had him, I was doing something actually in a nightclub with a bunch of bartenders as a promotion a couple years ago, where we don't have the trash can cocktail here. I'm not sure if that's a Nashville thing or if that's more common, but John showed us how to make that on the channel. So it just goes to show that this creator will let the audience participate in the channel, literally in the content, which is great to know. Over 600 subscribers, which is great to see. He's been a silver member for as long as I can remember. Over the top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. That means we get to see his channel every single day in the slides that run at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream, whether or not he's here. It's been a while since he's posted, but he's done plenty of shorts as well. Some of these have gotten into 1,600, 3,700 views, one at 11,000, which is great to see, and he's done live streams as panels in the past with other creators. So hopefully everybody will connect with Home Bartending with John. Like I said, a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Santa Fred, New York, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Keto Simple is also in the house. Dustin's here for just about every stream. I always appreciate you coming in. I'm lucky enough to catch them Sunday mornings often, not every time. And then oh yeah, Santa Fred, New York is in Albany, or close to Albany. I think that's the city I was forgetting to mention when I was talking about the cities the other day, because I've spent plenty of time. I've been to New England at least 20 times. But I was going at least once a month for a year and a half, many years ago. But along the I-90, I joked that I want to live in Batavia. That's where I want to retire. I want to buy a waterfront property in Batavia. We could never afford to do it in Canada. Waterfront property here is almost non-existent, and if it is, probably $1 million. But Batavia, in between what I believe was Niagara Falls and Rochester, and then we get to Syracuse. And I can't remember for the life of me now if Utica comes before Albany. I think it does. I think Albany's the last city, right? If I'm not mistaken, our friends will be able to tell me. And forgive me because I'm in Canada. So, you know, I try to remember. I have been there a million times. Actually, there was a big flood. I forget if it's 15 years ago, something like that. Some people will remember in upstate New York. And I was coming home from New England and got stuck and had to stay in Utica, and we had to wait for the water to disappear. And it was heartbreaking afterwards, driving back, you know, every month, seeing all the barns and structures, you know, anything you could see from the I-90 just destroyed and collapsed, and oh my dear goodness. So hopefully everybody, you know, has done what they need to I don't know, recover from that, let's just say. And then, yeah, New England many times, making that 9-hour drive out to Boston and then down to Hartford and Providence is where I would spend a lot of time. Home Bartending with John, hopefully everybody will connect with. I was trying not to get into story time, but I can't help myself. So we're going to start moving through channels. We still got plenty of time, almost an hour. And let's spin the wheel and see who's coming up next. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. So one of the things I loved about that drive is the fact that you have rest stops like every half hour, and a city every half hour as well. We don't have that in Canada. Rest stops are few and far between. Jason Keto has a couple on the way out his way. He's a little bit west of me, sort of northwest in Ontario. And then we don't have them really around Toronto. You start to go north and they start to show up, but it's not nearly as common here. And thank you, Ken Drago, for the super chat. I really do appreciate the extra generous support. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen, and then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. I'm not sure if Ben Cyan Games is still here. He grabbed his membership again today. If Ben Cyan Games is still listening in, he's usually live because he live streams, I think, 12 hours a day. He's doing that Everywhere Forever-a-thon. I think that's still going. He's into years of this now. But if he's still here, I'll put him back on the wheel. And then we're going to look at Ken Drago next. So P&J's Homestead Adventure. These creators, pardon me for a second. Actually, I got to take not a break. I'm going to be back in a few seconds here. Okay, pardon me, everybody, for that. The problem I have to address this. We have a window in the office or room where I sit now, and the sun comes in when it is setting, and it just is blinding, so I can't see a thing. That's why it's so bright over here. P&J's Homestead Adventure. These creators are in New York State, so they bring us all 4 seasons, 25-acre homestead they have, and they give us a bit of information on their About section. They've been dear friends now for years. Literally, I think PJ's Homestead Adventure has been with us for at least 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Working on 1,800 subscribers, which is great to see. And they say they've got big spring projects happening. So I'm just going to grab the latest video. A few gardening tips might come in that as well. What I notice about all of our homesteading friends is the idea that the creators behind the channels seem to want to share knowledge and resources with each other, even outside of YouTube, but they use their YouTube channel to do a lot of it. And that includes, I include a lot of creators together there. So ranching, farming, gardening, traditional homesteading, and then I even like to group in other outdoor channels like survival or camping or hiking or fishing and things like that. A lot of the outdoorsy type channels bring us a little bit of a mix. Our homesteading friends, of course, usually bring us a mix of indoor and outdoor content. So Paula and Jason here, shorts on their channel, 2,000, 2,200, 2,700, and then live streams. They did one live stream a while back. Maybe it's only 2 years now. I think it's closer to 3 though. We'll see if they're going to bring those at some point. But we got notification bells on for every single channel to give us the best chance to catch each other's content. There you go, P&J's Homestead Adventure. I'm sure I make plenty of mistakes when I talk like that. Like, I can't remember how long every single channel's been with the Tuber Chat family. I know 2D Life Family has recently changed the channel, but Derek's been a friend of ours for probably 4 years, if not 5 by now. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Yes, Mac Movement. I should probably put something in one of the robots if I didn't do that already. I put it in the description. Yes, so if anybody fairly new or brand new hasn't read the description, I hope that you will, because it describes what we're talking about. There's a couple things that are against YouTube's terms of service and community guidelines. That is view for view, sub for sub, watch for watch, whatever we want to call it. You are not allowed to subscribe to somebody's channel just because they subscribe to yours. You are not allowed to watch somebody's video just because they watched yours. It has to be more than that. So here we're much more focused on friendships. So even if I say to the whole chat, to everybody listening right now, go to PJ's Homestead Adventure. Let's try to get him to 1,900 subscribers. Everybody go subscribe right now. It never works here, because for 6 years now, we've been so focused on the quality of the connections, cherry picking our friends out of the chat, that we just don't get that kind of thing. When a channel's on the screen, they might get 2 or 3 subscribers. You see, when I keep switching the pages, most channels never even change, because people worry about the friendship first, and then the numbers go up because of it, right? But yeah, I forgot that it's in the description. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. And P&J's Homestead Adventure have been overwhelming supporters over all of this time. I see them out supporting other people. We run into each other constantly in other people's premieres and live stream. Hot Damn Aline's Crafting is here, and we're going to look at Ken Drago because they dropped a super chat a moment ago. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. So, Drago Nation, struggle, adapt, dominate. They've got some information on their About section. Elden Ring, I'm familiar with, sort of, just from our YouTube friends with their channels, but I'm just going to grab one of the latest videos and see what they're doing here. Now, I don't watch videos or subscribe while I live stream, so what I'm doing is taking this video and adding it into my watch later list. What that will allow me to do is, after the live stream today, I'll go through my watch later list, I'll watch that video in full, I'll leave you a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of that video, I'll give you the thumbs up, subscribe, and put the notification bell on, as I do for all creators. That should make our connection stick, and then hopefully you have our notification bell on as well now, so you don't miss our further live streams. We are usually here every 3 days or so. We mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones. And then Jerry and Susan, they are everybody's BFF. Butler Family, actually they're coming up right now, look at that. Butler Family Farm, they have one of the fastest rolling chats in the Tuber Chat family in their live streams. They're on every Monday at 6:45 Eastern. Jerry and Susan usually giving updates about what's happening with the farm, what's happening with them, meetups that might be scheduled, and things like that. And we'll look at what they've got going on in a second here. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay, because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. And then, yes, hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I know I say that a million times. Oh, Ken Drago, we just looked at your channel like 2 seconds ago. That was the last channel that we looked at. And then 2D Life Family is also dropping a super chat, so we're going to look at their channel next. And Butler Family Farm is up on the screen right now. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. Then we get back to spinning the wheel. And then when we look at Butler Family Farm, yeah, the key lime pie again is here, because this is one of the creators, or one of the pairs of creators or couples of creators that are collaborating with Cooking with the Munchie Mafia official. The other is Devil Dog. They're getting together once a month for these cook along or bake along live streams where they're making sugar-free treats of some sort. They've done plenty already, but they've done pecan pie, they've done cheesecake, they're doing cinnamon rolls in a few weeks. And Butler Family Farm is 116 acres of farmland. So when I mention the idea of grouping a lot of creators together in homesteading, I say farming, ranching, gardening, and then maybe camping, hiking, fishing, survival, and other outdoor channels, because of the similarities in the creators, even more so than the content, or at least their intent on sharing knowledge and resources. So Jerry and Susan are over the top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. They've been friends of of ours for years. I insist that it's getting close to 5 years, but it could be somewhere around 4. But Butler Family Farm, tries to be here for every stream. I don't expect that, of course, from anybody. I do appreciate every moment everybody can spend. I know a lot of people rearrange their schedules and make special arrangements just to be able to catch these streams, especially because we don't have a schedule here. But I do try to post in advance. The next couple of streams are there for everybody to plan around if you need to. Now, Butler Family Farm brings us cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, cats, dogs, bees, koi, and rabbits, and more. And these creators give us updates about how they look after their property. They bring us into their home. They bring us the livestock. They bring us product reviews. Jerry brings us remarkable woodworking from his wood shop. And then they take us to many meetups as well. In between the product reviews and other content on the channel, they meet up with groups both large and small. More pens made by Jerry. I wish I had it in front of me, but he sent me over a pen and a pencil set, which I put away because I moved locations where I was streaming, and I haven't seemed to unpack yet after a year and a half. But one of these days I will. But this is an example. Jerry makes these pens on a lathe in the wood shop. The only reason I know what a lathe is because I was lucky enough to have woodworking class in my school during 6th to 8th grade. But Butler Family Farm shows us how he makes all these remarkable things. He's got Jerry and Susan together have gotten into 12,000 views on several of these shorts. They got one at 55,000. But you'll notice that this channel went from under 10,000 subscribers to over 150,000 in about a year and a half. And Jerry let us know a while back that they were using the promotion system. So it's another legitimate way to grow in the YouTube studio. It's available as a paid advertising option for growing your channel in a much faster way. Not something that I intend to ever do with any of my channels. Not something I ever expect to recommend, but it is something that's out there. Lots of difference of opinion on it, but if you want to know how it works and learn about it, then Butler Family Farm shares information, especially in a live stream series where they actually get together with Beltloop 29. These couple of creators are dear friends. They got plenty of friends that join them for plenty of StreamYard panels and things. I was on with them a couple months ago just for a friendly conversation, but they share information about YouTube as they continue to learn as well. So anybody can hop in there. And then otherwise, Jerry and Susan will bring us live streams every Monday, a chance to get to know them. Sometimes they have StreamYard panels, and they often take us to meetups, large and small. Up to 70 channels worth of creators and supporters get together. And then hopefully everybody will connect with Butler Family Farm. They have been over the top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters over all this time. And of course, they're long monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. So I'm going to start taking quicker breaks here. We'll go for 3.5 minutes. We'll leave the clips for the next stream from our interview series that I always play. Plenty of time to put plenty of channels on the screen. We still got over half an hour, which is great to know. And I'll get to as many channels as we can. So 2D Life Family 25 dropped a super chat. We will put their channel up next. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. Ben Cyan Games, I did get you on the wheel after. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat. I don't think so. And then let's go for 3.5 minutes. We'll make it quick and get right back. you seek Amy K, I think I missed your stream the other day. I had it listed, but I think I missed it by literally minutes or seconds. So forgive me for that. And if you seek Amy K, she actually has 2 different channels, and we're just about back to look at 2D family life right now. This is actually a friend that we've had for probably 5 years, might even be a slight bit longer than that, but they've refreshed the channel and all of the content on it as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with 2D Life when we look at what they're doing on the channel. A lot of family challenges here. One of the things we've known them for over the years is getting a lot of collaborations together, usually fitness challenges actually, but they've been doing a lot of product reviews, and I've seen them review a lot of energy drinks. Now they seem to be mixing things up even more, so like an Oreo taste test, the sugar-free versus the regular ones, for instance. Nice to hear people's opinions about these kinds of things. I know Vintage Style by Joe was joking about me having a soda earlier. Yes, I shouldn't admit to it. Half of the benefit of having those clips that I play where I say the same things all the time is because when I put that on the screen, then I take a drink. Nobody has to see, oh, Kevin's drinking nonsense again. I wish the guy would care about his health and stop drinking pop all day. But then I wonder whether I should admit that it's sugar-free, if that's just going to make it even worse. If it's Canada Dry, like zero, instead of the regular stuff. I don't think it's any better. It's probably worse. But 2D Life is going to review a lot of different things, but that comes to mind when we see the sugar-free versus regular Oreo. I can tell you from my time in the United States that a lot of the products down there actually taste different. I have a feeling that has to do with like government restrictions on ingredients and things. One of the most obvious is Wonder Bread. We have Wonder Bread here in Canada, but if you try it in the States and you try it in Canada, Canadians would say that the American one is sweet. There's something about it. Maybe more sugar is added or something like that. But I used to, when I spent all that time in the States, I used to go to Target on my way and fill a cooler full of all kinds of food, because you don't want to be eating out 3 times a day. That starts to get ridiculous, right? So I would buy literally like some milk and cereal, let's say, just for a quick breakfast every morning if I was staying in hotels, and then enough stuff to make sandwiches, you know, and a bunch of snacks and nonsense I don't want to admit to. And then, you know, you're only eating out, let's say, once a day and things like that. 2D Life, though, hopefully everybody will connect with. I'm just going to grab that sugar-free Oreo taste test video. I'm going to put that in my catch-up list because it's over 3 minutes. Not that it matters, we've been connected for years, but just because we do the same thing on this channel all the time, we're always focused on videos over 3 minutes long, so I'll take the longer of the 2 here. We also noticed that they've got shorts on the channel, 4,600, 6,000 on one of these, and then hopefully everybody will connect with 2D Life. They're working on 3,300 subscribers, and they're long monetized, and thank you, by the way, for the super chat. Again, they've done that a million times over the years. Absolutely unnecessary, very much appreciated, of course. And then, yeah, Hala, it is interesting for sure. But that's absolutely the truth. I would literally go for a grocery run, and then just whatever came home with me. So I'd buy everything. I'd buy like the bread, the meat, the butter, the lettuce, the like whatever I was going to put on a sandwich. I ate a lot of sandwiches. Not that I'm crazy about it. It's just that they're so easy. You know what I mean? I do that today. Even when I have my full-time gig, I try to bring as much food from the grocery store as I can. Not necessarily the most healthy choices in the world, better than I was doing a few months ago, but just something to keep me from spending money every day in you know, gas stations and variety stores and stuff like that. That's where money disappears. So let's look at Globee's travel in a second here. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description, you'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. Oh, that's too bad. New times, new beginnings. Yeah, I noticed Pete's comment about that there. I have not had a traditional full-time gig for a very, very, very long time. I have a couple times over the years, but I've been self-employed basically my whole adult life. And I haven't actually had like literal vacation time. The company I work for now, as my full-time gig, let's say, has like traditional paid vacation time, and my year is up next week actually, so I'm taking my first week of paid vacation. It's going to be a staycation. I'm sticking around for the month of June, but I'll have a week off and literally get paid to stay home, so it'll be the first time that's ever happened in my life. I really don't know what to do about that, but they luckily won't make me cancel. It's too bad when people have to do that kind of thing, but yeah, new times, new beginnings will likely sort that out. Globeast Travels, a longtime friend now as well. They've been with us for what I think is a few years, and they are bringing us a lot of interesting travel, mostly in Tennessee over the latest videos I see. I still have this desire to check out Tennessee myself. I don't think I've been to Tennessee ever, unless I might have driven through it and it was like literally not even stopping. But I don't think so. North Carolina, I went to on the way to Florida, but I can't remember what states we drove through on the way. We didn't come from Toronto. We came from, might have been Pittsburgh or something like that. I was down there for a longer trip. But one of these days, I really would like to see, actually next year, the Bitcoin conference is going to happen in Nashville. So that might be the opportunity to do a few things. We could do a Nashville meetup. I'm sure a lot of friends from our American friends would come to Nashville or anywhere in Tennessee for a meetup, because it's... I just imagine that. I imagine they would. And then, so we look at Globeast Travel, and like I said, lots of interesting places. I can see I'm behind in your videos. I'm grabbing the 18-minute one here. I've put that into that catch-up playlist I keep talking about. It's just a fun name for a playlist I use to keep or get caught up with creators. And then shorts here, 3,900, 7,200, 13,000 views, my goodness. And then live streams. So they did a stream a year ago. We'll see if they're going to bring some more. I thought there was more, but maybe I'm mistaken. And hopefully everybody will connect with Globeast Travels, a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then let's spin, and we'll get to another channel. We still got 25 minutes. Time for plenty of channels. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Yeah, I missed the video. I missed the live stream. Was it just a couple of days ago, or was? Yeah, I think it was this one here. I was hoping to catch you, and unfortunately, I literally think I missed it by minutes. How long were you on? Oh, she was on for a while. I think she started before we started. That's why. That must be why, right? Before we finished is what I mean to say. And then if you seek Amy K. So this is one of two channels for this creator. And this is where they're bringing us different travel and cruise-based videos. Again, I didn't actually get a chance to watch the videos in my catch-up list. I ran it. But since it's Friday now, and I have time over this weekend, I think I'm going to leave all the videos in that playlist and still watch them. So they'll all basically get run again. But I wanted to see this one because she was talking about Virgin voyages. Because a lot of our friends talk about Carnival, they taught. I haven't really seen much about Celebrity, actually. I don't know if they're still as popular as they were. But I just want to see what another opinion is about Virgin, because Warmstrong Adventures took a Virgin cruise a while ago as well. He's been on like 75 cruises, probably 80 by now, my dear goodness. But I'm curious to see what they have to say. If You Seek Amy K as well has got shorts. They've gotten into 2,100, 6,000, and then they've got live streams on the channel as well. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one of these. They're monetized, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Amy Loses It is another channel from the same creator with almost 1,800 subscribers. They're monetized here also, and they give us information about their channel and what we can expect here on a weight loss journey to lose 180 pounds. So quite an accomplishment. They're wondering if they can lose the weight before they lose their mind, so we can follow along. And then Amy Loses It has got shorts on this channel as well. 1,800 on a couple of these as far as views go, and then they've got live streams over here as well. They did another live stream yesterday, so it looks like they're alternating channels for those live streams. So hopefully everybody will connect with Amy Loses It and If You Seek Amy K. And then Cove Action. Oh yeah, it's Friday now. So they're not too far away, but it looks like we're not going to get a chance to meet up this weekend. What I was saying earlier, Chuck and Lori, is the idea maybe sometime while the weather's good over the next few months, we can pick a day and get a lot of creators together. You know, Jason's always up for meetups. Kristen and I are always up for meetups. We're talking about Red's Room TV, who was in here earlier. He rated in here today. And maybe we can make a time when we know that Chuck and Lori can come in, because they're from Syracuse, so not too far away. I don't know how far Paula and Jason are, if they would come up from New York State. We've got a few friends in upstate New York. Elevate with Vern has come to visit twice, as a matter of fact. But we'll see. It could be an idea. Cove Action Travel, so they'll have new content. This is a behind-the-scenes video where they talked about a trailer for the live stream they did the other day. We rated into that one. And Chuck and Lori were giving us a look at some guacamole. I think they said they're going to put that on Lori's channel, which I'm going to put up in another second here. They bring us elaborate filming and editing in their travel videos, and then they share with us the process during the live streams, where they talk about how they plan, the equipment that they use, the fact that they use DaVinci Resolve. Then they've gotten into 12,000, 21,000 views. Videos much the same, bringing us to interesting places all over the world. And then when we look at Live, Love, Laugh with Lori, we see a complimentary channel, and this one's just gotten started, but here they go. Fast Easy Guacamole. We can see what they made from the live stream the other day, what Chuck was wolfing down there, I don't mind saying. He was loving it. And hopefully everybody will connect with Cove Action and Live, Love, Laugh Lori. And then let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel up onto the screen in a second. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. When we look at Matt and Mouse, we see another couple of fellow Canadians, actually. And I put another couple of channels onto the wheel. Santa Fred, New York. I hope they're still here. I probably didn't say anything, so I'm not sure if they're still in the chat. I put New Times, New Beginnings. We'll take it one by one for now, but we still have 20 minutes, so we should be on time today, but I've still got plenty of time to put channels on the screen. So the key is being active in the chat. I'm doing it manually today. I messed up my system with my statistics, so I haven't got a chatbot helping me today, but I'll add names onto the wheel shortly. So Santa Fred, New York is still here. and then Matt and Mouse is up on the screen. Now, I was truly taken away with this channel when I saw it, and I say that about a couple of different channels. I have a personal love of tiny homes and cabins and cottages. It's not that I'm outdoorsy. I think everybody here can figure out I'm an indoor guy, but I do enjoy the moments of outdoors. I've been lucky enough to have, like, my family had cottages when I was young, and there's something about cabins and tiny homes, and I just keep putting those together in my own mind. It's not that they're necessarily connected, but I'm sure everybody knows what I mean. Around 149 square feet is what they're dealing with on this channel, and they show us all the ins and outs of the things they have to do. They have to build storage for the firewood. They have to talk about distance to the water. They have to drill holes in the cabin repeatedly, which I can't stop laughing about. And then they have to talk about things like Wi-Fi signals and battery and power and things like this, and heat. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 1,600 views, 1,700 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. So Matt and Mouse have a wonderful chemistry between the two of them. I was lucky to catch this a few weeks ago. We were introduced to them by Just Jason Keto about 1.5 years ago, when he did a homestead hangout and brought in 3 different channels that had impact on him and his YouTube journey. This comes down to any friend of yours is a friend of ours, and Matt and Mouse have been here ever since, for which I'm grateful. And these creators have been over the top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters. They take their YouTube journey very seriously. You see they've got a website, mattandmouse.com. You can check that out. And then, you find it interesting to see which thumbnails I'm seeing. My bet is that Matt and Mouse means that they're probably using the A/B testing feature, which I haven't been talking enough about lately. We have to use everything that YouTube gives us as tools. You know, we're going to get a lot of advice from a lot of different channels about ways to maximize the effort, but it comes down to this. Every video, every live stream replay gives us the opportunity to have 3 different thumbnails. And what happens is YouTube shows those to people on pages like this through the recommendation engine randomly, and then chooses the one for you that gets the best click-through rate. So it's 100% for sure better than just putting up one thumbnail, because you get to see what kind of thumbnails your audience is going to like. And for some creators, somebody like myself, I put a different thumbnail on every single video on my personal channel. They are not the same. They are not connected. Once in a while, I do similar things, not like Superchat, where every thumbnail is identical, not like our copyright-free music channel, where every thumbnail is similar. So a great benefit. So I think that's what Matt and Mouse is probably talking about. And everybody, in my opinion, should be taking advantage of that. Everybody. And I will probably start doing that on the Superchat channel eventually as well. So Magic Fabric Magician is being added to the wheel. Create and Relate is here as well. Let's keep moving. Let's spin the wheel. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuberchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And thank you, 2D Life. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We won't be back until after Mother's Day, but for everybody that celebrates in any way at all, I know there's lots of different situations out there, lots of different ways to show our respect to those who mother us in all the different ways that people can. Yes, happy Mother's Day then. And then let's have a look at Santa Fred Adventures. So this channel says they really just started with A/B testing. It's a fairly new channel at 22 subscribers. We'd love to get them moving towards their first 100. And then they give us a bit of information on their About section about what to expect. Now, I don't watch videos or subscribe while I live stream, but what I'm going to do is take your latest video It's a perfect one to watch, actually, because it says their journey to becoming Santa Claus. I'm going to put this video into my watch later list. What that will allow me to do is after the live stream today, I'll go through my watch later list. I'll watch that video in full. I'll leave a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of that video. I'll give a thumbs up, subscribe, and put the notification bell on as I do for all creators. That should make our connection stick, and then hopefully you have our notification bell on as well so you don't miss our further live streams. We are usually here every 3 days or so, and we mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. I'm dropping a link right now. Just Jason Keto has a premiere coming up. Michael's Adventures has one as well. We'll raid Michael again within the next few streams. Pardon me, but I try to mix these up. I can't keep, I should keep in order, but I don't, about when we last rated everybody. But Just Jason Keto will give us an opportunity to continue connecting the same way we do here in another 15 minutes after Tuber Chat. I'll get to as many channels as we can between now and then. And Scratch and PPA we're talking about right now, beloved and dedicated moderator. I noticed, though, that Broke But Bountifully Blessed ADHD is in the house. That's Carol. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Oh, you did. Ben Cyan Games ended the 24/7 stream they were doing, but they've got a daily marathon going. They've literally been able to stream literally for, I think, a couple of years. So when we look at Scratch and PPA on the screen, this is a beloved and dedicated moderator. Anybody that's met Pete on YouTube anytime at all will have no choice but to say that this is one of their most supportive supporters. Certainly that's the case here. I refer to him as a shining jewel in the Tuber Chat family. You know, I run into him every day in other people's premieres, live streams. He is constantly supporting other creators, and I would like to think that the sense of generosity is what draws me to the creators that we call moderators here. They all have an over-the-top sense of generosity. They all want everybody to get what, you know, the most out of YouTube, to get what they want out of YouTube. I believe, you know, we all just want everybody to be happy, and YouTube can be a part of that, let's just say. But Scratch and PPA and all of our moderators go over and above when it comes to the idea of supporting each other in every way that you can. I am very lucky as the host of Tuber Chat and a dear friend to each one of these creators to be able to hear the good and the bad that goes on in YouTube, because we can't pretend that it's all, you know, I like to say rainbows and unicorns and things like that. You know, YouTube has its dark side, and thank goodness that we all have this community now. We have each other to look to. When I started on YouTube 9 years ago, there was nothing. When trolls started coming around, there really wasn't many people to turn to say, like, hey, what on earth is going on? Now that we have seen so much of that, we can bring ease to other creators when they have to go through some of the negative things we see. And there's other things besides trolling and stuff. You know, YouTube is work. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But Scratch and PPA is a perfect example of a creator that goes over and above in every way that somebody can to help others in every way that somebody can be helped on YouTube. Many of our moderators do things that people are never even going to know about, that they don't even see, about helping people with watch hours, watching videos, recommending channels from creators to each other, and things like that. Scratch and PPA has been doing this for the last almost 6 years, literally over 5.5 years. I was lucky enough to know him as PA before he even decided what he was going to do on his channel, I believe, and before he even started everything. But his video editing skills have been complimented ever since his very first video 5.5 years ago. He even stepped up the production this past January. If you haven't seen his videos lately, you need to go and see what he's been doing, because not all lottery tickets work the same way, which means he has to change his editing style and the content of the videos based on the lottery tickets that are chosen. We get to choose them because he brings the outside social networks into his Scratch Challenge series of videos where he pits 2 lottery tickets against each other. We vote, and then that determines the content for next week's video. His bright, beautiful avatar is matched by content in his thumbnails. We might have expected that, but he also gives us a hint about the giveaways that happen in his video series. And this creator as well updates his banner every single week, if you can imagine that, so you know that presentation's at the forefront of his mind. Is Jessie Journals and Unboxes still in the chat? I'm not sure if she is. I probably forgot to put her on the wheel again. I don't mean to do that all the time. I hope she's still in the chat. I'm not sure if she was just coming by to say hello. And then John Lucas is still here. I'm going to get you on the wheel. I'm going to run overtime. It looks like I'm going to try to hurry up. I'm going to race through channels starting now. Scratch and PPA, a fellow Canadian, is monetized. Lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. If you can catch his premieres every Tuesday, I caught him at the very last second this week. But this creator has one of the fastest rolling chats in the Tuber Chat family. You're going to meet a lot of friends there. It is very overwhelming, fast-paced, and high energy. And fun to see, fun to be a part of. This creator a couple of years ago took a trip to Italy and brought us some vlogging-style shorts showing us all the different areas he visited and some Italian lottery tickets as well. And then he returned to Italy this year and brought us an entire series of Italian lottery tickets as short videos. This creator as well brought us his very first live stream from that original visit to Italy in 2023, and I was lucky enough to have been there in the chat at the time. I know a lot of people will be hoping for more, but more so we're happy to see the expansion in content on the channel. So hopefully everybody will connect with Scratch and PPA. And Glorious Platter, I wonder if you have a timer so that when the Tuber Chat notification goes off for you, 2 hours and 45 minutes later, you get like a reminder on your phone to say come into the Tuber Chat stream and say hello to everyone. Gloria's Platter's been a friend of ours for at least 5 years now, and her channel's doing fantastic. She does a great job over there. Ben Cyan Games is here right now. This creator is bringing us a mix of content on the channel, including a lot of video gameplay. I'm just going to grab one of the latest videos, put that into my catch-up list, that playlist we keep talking about. He mixes up the different games on the channel and is known for doing series, almost marathons of videos. We'll look at those in a second, but look at this, 4,600, 20,000. One of his bar chart race shorts has got 533,000 views, which is very cool to see. This creator as well is doing a marathon again. So they had done a Everywhere Forever-a-thon, and they had gotten into, look at this, 1,034 streams. My dear goodness. And then they changed it up. So they're still streaming every day. And hopefully everybody will connect with Ben Cyan Games, another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then, yes, Michael's Adventure says they'll get their notification tomorrow. And then, yeah, okay, Glorious Platter came home after work now. Yes, I wonder, I'm like, what are the coincidences? So many times Gloria's Platter's coming towards the end, or she jokes all the time that every time she gets here is just about time for us to take a break. So then she's got to sit there for 7 minutes before we can get into connecting and listening to whatever I'm going to drone on about when I come on the screen. The Fabric Magician, this is Net, and this creator is bringing us a lot of repurposed, how did she put it? She put rescued, new and rescued fabric into quilts, gifts, home accessories, garments, etc. So she's making all kinds of different things. You can see the light-spirited attitude in this creator, always laughing, always having a good time, showing us the things they're working on or making or crafting on the channel. They've got shorts over here at 1,000 views, 1,400 on a couple of them, and then live streams on the channel as well. She's got a couple set up actually for the next 2 days. So 5 a.m. is a little bit early for me in the weekends, but basically what happens is whenever I get up, I get up. I've had an easy week. I've been able to sleep a little bit longer than usual. Next week I'll be back probably to the 4:45 to 5 a.m. But hopefully I'll catch one of these two. I'm usually up by 7 on the weekend. And then the Fabric Magician has got 183 subscribers. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards the 200 we know they're going to be thinking about. Early Bird catches the Fabric Magician. And then Mother's Day. Yeah, I'll be interested to see as many Mother's Day streams as I can on that day. I'm unsure what we're doing. We'll be doing something, but I'm unsure exactly what and where just yet. We're still waiting to hear from a couple of people about that. Red's Room TV dropped us a raid earlier today. Ninja raid is what everybody was saying on the way in. So hopefully some of our new friends had a good time today and met some new friends along the way. Canadian Family Life from New Brunswick, good to see you in the house. When we look at Red's Room TV, this creator is also from Toronto, and they are helping people connect. They do a big variety of content, both indoors and outdoors. I believe they work as well. I caught them for a stream the other day. I think they're on the way to work. And then they've got a different kind of stream deck. This is what I was talking about the other day, which is great to know. And then so I'm actually going to take a different video for them. I want to watch the longer of the two. I'll put that in my catch-up list. I think they're on the road to remonetization, if I'm not mistaken. And then Red's Room TV is very known as a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. They've raided in here as many times as I could count and sent plenty of friends over here. And I've been lucky enough to catch them for several live streams. 3,000, 4,000, almost 8,000 views on some of these short videos, and then live streams are frequent. I guess they're on just about every day. They do some unattended live streams, and then they have some where the creator's talking to us as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Red's Room TV, and we'll spin the wheel and we'll get another channel ready to go. And I'll drop the link again. I haven't been dropping the link enough, but we'll drop the link right now for Just Jason Keto. He's got a premiere coming up. I'm not going to add more channels to the chat, to the wheel right now. I'm trying to be disciplined about cutting that off about 15 minutes before the end of the stream, just because I won't get to them and I don't want to go overtime. We want to think about our moderators, and you know, Jason will have a couple of minutes as an intro on his video. And then yes, one more time, happy Mother's Day to everybody who's celebrating in all the different ways that we can. John the Reseller is a channel I've got to get to know, but this is somebody who recently found the Superchat family. And let's see what they've got on the channel. Shorts, first of all, 4,000, 6,000, 11,000 views on some of these, and live streams as well. So they got plenty of live streams ready to go. One of them on Sunday, and then it looks like they did one just a few hours ago. They did one the other day. I was lucky enough to did I catch that, or did I run that? I think I must have caught that on Sunday morning. Yeah, I always catch a lot of streams on Sunday morning. That's when Keto Simple's on. And then John the Reseller, hopefully everybody will help push towards the 900 we know they're thinking about. And this creator obviously does some eBay as well. I see they got a link to their store, which is great to know. And then let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel up on the screen. Forgive me for anything I missed in the chat today, and thank you everybody for the time that you spent. Forgive me for the channels that I did not get to. We still got a few to go through, and then Jason will give us a chance to continue connecting. So will Michael's Adventures. He drops his premiere at 8 p.m. as well. Most of us will get the notifications for that, and I'm on a computer, so I'll have four windows going with streams or playlists in another few minutes here. New Times, New Beginnings is almost at 1,700 subscribers. This creator's got a couple of channels. They're with us every day, a mix of indoor and outdoor content. This creator happens to work with animals every day, and they share that with us on the channel as well. 1,700, 2,000, 2,700 views on some of these shorts. They've got live streams as well. They've done plenty of these as experiments, even up to about a week ago. And then when we look at their second channel, we see complimentary content, fuzzy adventures, entertainment, and more. And many of us will recognize that because they're in the chat with us regularly. 380 subscribers right now. They've got another mix of content here, mostly indoors on this channel by the look of it. They've got shorts over here at 1,000 views, 1,300, 1,500 views on one of these shorts, which is great to see. And then a few live streams over here as well. They'll probably bring us some more. And then we'll spin the wheel. We'll get another channel up onto the screen right now, Jody Genealogy. This is actually Marketplace Boutique with a second complimentary channel. And here she's doing different content so they can complement each other, if you want to put it that way. I'm kind of dancing around what I'm saying while I'm speaking so fast here. But history, true crime, and travel. But this creator also has a lot of shorts on the channel and brings pure variety. When we watch the videos, we see that Jody puts a lot of work into the research about the topics that she's going to talk about or the story she's going to narrate here. A lot of effects on the screen, and really meaning like artifacts, different things that she looks for, like older photos, things related to the content she's talking about, putting really a lot of work into that. And then shorts, like I said, variety over here, 14,000, 16,000, 32,000, and then live streams on the channel. She could be by the water, she could be on the water, she could be on the road, she could be by the fire, she could be taking us for a walk, or she could be taking us shopping. She does that on both channels because Marketplace Boutique is where she helps us with the ins and outs of selling online on platforms like eBay. She actually helps us with our YouTube journey as well, some graphic design if you dig through the tutorials here. But Jody is a truly dynamic creator, and she'll even take us shopping to show us how to find some of the things that we can sell, or buy collections of things that we can split up and sell individually. She's also got shorts on the channel that have gotten here into 28,000, 35,000, and 56,000, again with pure variety, and live streams on the channel as well. She could be camping, she could be shopping, she could be on the water, on the road, by the fire, or collaborating with other creators. So hopefully everybody will connect with Jody Genealogy and Marketplace Boutique. And then thank you everybody for the time that you spent today. I really do appreciate every moment everybody can be here. I hope everyone will connect with our moderators, because I promise you these streams wouldn't be the way they are if it wasn't for their help. We are nice, strong, and solid. It's been an out of control few streams actually. Today was a little bit calmer, but the last two were unbelievable as we celebrated our 6 years on YouTube. So hopefully everybody will connect and come over to Jason's channel. I'll drop the link one more time right now. We can continue connecting while he drops a brand new Chaffle video. He is one of our moderators, and then Michael's Adventures has a premiere going on as well right now. And then I'll see everybody over with Jason's and Michael's in a few minutes. Create and Relate up on the screen here. This creator brings us a lot of different types of crafts and the tools that they use to engage in the artistic, crafty things that they make. They're working with a lot of resin lately. I've seen them with diamond painting. They've done a lot of product reviews, things that can also relate to our YouTube journey. So it could be something like lighting, a microphone, a camera. It could be a Cricut machine. They might be thinking about making merchandise. And this creator has got shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 1,600 views on a couple of them, and they've live streamed in the past. We'll see if they're going to continue those. They've got we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as everybody can for each other. So again, happy Mother's Day. Thank you everybody. Forgive me for the channels we didn't get to. Again, you know, I try to get to as many as possible. And then we will be back on Monday. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you in the next 2 premieres and over the weekend in different people's premieres and live streams. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.